What is up, everybody, and welcome to World's Biggest Collectors, episode 19, the show where we bring on the biggest physical media collectors in the YouTube and the social media spaces. And I have with me today a really exciting guest. I'm super excited to have this guy. I've been watching him on his channel since probably like last September or October. He's really great with the boutique titles, just giving you tons of information on those, the Vinegar Syndromes, the Severin titles. He is Mr. Cult of Cinema himself, Aaron Pynn. Awesome to have you here tonight, man. I'm super excited to have you. I've been a fan of yours for a while.
It's my pleasure, man. I am so glad to be on. I've been watching you for quite a while, too. It was kind of neat to find out that you actually knew what my channel was. So,
cool. Yeah. I forget. Like, I feel like I had subscribed to you probably earlier than last year, like last September. But for whatever reason, you know, you subscribe to a bunch of people that are collectors or whatever. And then you just kind of pop into chats randomly. And I remember popping into yours like last September. And I was like commenting and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, hey, mid-level, I love your YouTube, your Blu-ray hunting videos and stuff." I was like, "Really? This guy watches me?" But yeah, I thought that was super cool, and you were always just really kind with your words about me and my channel, and just kind of shouting me out and stuff. So yeah, I always have been appreciative of that, and I'm happy to have you on my channel here tonight.
I am honored, and you've been doing good stuff, man. So I'm downstairs tonight, so hopefully we got a good connection. We'll see how that goes. This is where I normally used to do videos at about a year or so ago. Mm-hmm. So I moved it upstairs because I used a different setup. But I am down in, I guess, which is sort of my movie library, which is my downstairs movie library, and there's the other room movie library, and there's the upstairs. I have issues.
I think we all have issues, but it's okay because you're in a safe space here tonight. We're all physical media collectors and addicts here. And yeah, I'm in my basement as well. That's where I keep all my movies. My wife won't let me put any of my movies upstairs, so she keeps me down here in the corner in the basement and makes me put them all up behind me. And that's where I'm at tonight. So Aaron, I'm going to give you a second, man, to just kind of promote yourself and let everybody know what you're all about over there on your channel over at the Cult of Cinema. So the floor is yours, sir.
Well, being Canadian, I'm needlessly humble, but I've got the Cult of Cinema, and basically we talk a lot about like collecting, especially boutique labels. So Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Criterion, Arrow Video, BFI, MVD, Umbrella, Mill Creek, a lot of that type of stuff. I'm a huge fan of like physical media in general. I've been collecting now for years, and previously to this, I used to collect comic books as well. I also have a Patreon where I do a Giallo thing called the Cult of Giallo. And what we're doing right now is going through directors, basically director at a time, and then we're going through different like actresses, and we're doing verses where we put like someone like Edwidge Finch up against like a Susie Kendall, Dario Argento up against Fulci, and some of their films up against each other. And I'm doing up a Google Sheets doc, so basically people can go search and get like a whole list of Giallos, and they can take it and put it on their phone with them. So that's what I'm doing right now. There you go.
Awesome, man. And yeah, you've that's why I like joining your live streams and your chats and stuff, because you always just give out so much great information like on all these boutique labels. Like I always look to you for like my boutique information, because that's you're the boutique label guy. And I wouldn't say like I'm not brand new to like Arrows and all that stuff, but I've just gotten into collecting Arrow Video and Scream Factory and Criterion and all that kind of stuff within the last, I don't know, 3 to 4 years. So I still feel like I'm learning a lot. And then you get into those, and those are kind of like your gateway boutique labels. And then you start to get into, like, I didn't really know what Severin or Vinegar Syndrome was until like a year ago, or Kino Lorber, or some of those other companies that are going on right now. So it's always really like super enlightening when you join one of your chats. And yeah, I love listening to you talk, to be honest, about the Blu-ray. So I'm just going to let you take over the show for the rest of the night.
From like everybody, like to be honest with you, I learn stuff every time I go on, because I got such a nice crowd of people that come in. Yeah. Thank you, Ben Buster. He apparently added me on Instagram.
There you go.
Asked me how to collect Bollywood. That's something that I'm starting to get into as well, but I have yet to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that. For me, it's a lot, not just the Bollywood, but pretty much the whole, like that aspect of, like, Mom used to have a lot of those kind of those Bollywood horror titles. and because I love those, and my better half loves those titles as well. But it's something that it's harder to find. I think it was a company put out Mahaka recently, which is like kind of like a Bollywood version of Nightmare on Elm Street. So if you haven't seen that, we're checking out.
Oh, really? That's interesting. A
Yeah, it is.
Bollywood version of Nightmare on Elm Street. I got to check that out. I haven't gotten into the Bollywood films. I've seen Slumdog Millionaire. Does that count?
It can.
Does that count as a Bollywood? Okay. But yeah, guys, I'm a terrible host. I haven't even told you guys, but I got all of Aaron's links down in the description below. I got his Twitter, got his Instagram, and I got his YouTube. So definitely subscribe and follow him at all of those links. We do have 37 people in the chat right now watching us. So I appreciate everybody being here on this Tuesday night. Please like the video. And if you're watching on the replay, please comment down below anything that you feel is worth commenting about that we talked about here tonight. So let's go ahead and get into this chat. We do have Ben Buster here, and he says, let's see, I think I missed that part, but they basically asked why I look like I was getting ready to fight you on the thumbnail. But yeah, I do have kind of like a kung fu pose on that thumbnail. 4KD Ray says, good one, but welcome, guys. I'm glad to have you all here. Basement Blues, Tony at Over Basement Blues says, hey, Ken and Aaron. Hey, Tony, what's up, man? Cinema Study says, congrats on 4K. Ken, yeah, I just hit 4K today. That was super cool. Wow. And I appreciate that, guys. Let's see. The Blu-ray King says, hell yeah, time for some mid-level media and Joker. Are you calling Aaron the Joker? Well, why would you do that, Blu-ray King? Why would you do that? I guess he's saying you're a villain, Aaron. I don't see you that way at all. If anything, I'm the villain here. The Blu-ray King says, hey there, Tony and 4KD Ray. Hey, Ben Bus, everybody saying hi to each other. Let's see. Sean says, happy Tuesday night. Favorite John Carpenter movie? It's a good question. And I'm really curious to see if you have an answer other than the answer that everybody else says.
You mean like Halloween? Like, no, it's not gonna be Halloween. Though that is a favorite of mine. No, like, yeah, obviously.
That's my answer.
But I'm going to go with, oh, God, this is hard. It's going to be one that nobody's going to say, actually. And because, I could say there's so many to say. I could go for the classic. I could go for the Big Trouble in Little China, which I do love, and I saw that in theater. But I'm going to go with one that nobody says that I really like and I think is underrated. I'm going with The Fog. I like The Fog, actually.
The Fog.
Kind of like aspect of this, kind of like small town ghost story around the fire type of aspect to it that I like. Not his best movie. Like, I'm not going to make an argument that it's his best movie, but for me personally, it's his most personal movie. And I did live in a small town for a period of time. So there's
very creepy. It has great atmosphere in that movie. And the score is like phenomenal in that movie. I love the score in The Fog. But yeah, mine's Halloween. So yeah, very, very basic. But if we're not going Halloween, I'll go with the other very basic John Carpenter answer, and that's The Thing. So there you go. But my third one is one that I don't think a lot of people would put in their top 3 Carpenters, and that's Christine. I love Christine. That's one of my favorite movies.
I love Christine.
I rewatched it when I bought the 4K a few years ago, and I was so shocked at how well that movie held up. Like, it's still so good. I loved it. Let's see. Biffer the Hobbit says, your thoughts on Titan? It's about a lady with a car human hybrid in her belly. It won this year at Palme d'Or at Cannes. I have not even heard of that.
My better half actually told me about it. Like,
awesome.
But I haven't got a chance to. Like her sister goes to well, not now because everything, but normally like goes to the Marrakesh Film Festival, and that's where they have a lot of the stuff at. But this year, not so much. So I'm not finding as much as I normally do when it comes to the new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm happy you at least knew about that, because I knew nothing about that, but definitely a premise worth checking out, I guess. Let's see. Movie Buff says Death Wish movies ranked. I feel like you'll be able to answer this one. I haven't seen the Death Wish movies.
2. That's the sleaziest one, guys.
So that's your first one? Or that's your
first one? That's my first one.
How many of them are there, first off?
There's 5.
5, okay.
1, 3, 4, and 5. Then Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon, and then the remake with So yeah, we'll go with that.
So there was that. Is Death Sentence, does that count? Is that in the mythology of the Death Wish? Is that in there?
Yeah. Is that it's closer to a remake than actually, it's way close to what Death Wish should be. than actually what the Bruce Willis Death Wish is. So yeah, and it's
Oh,
way better
well, I
than
have
Disney's
seen
one.
some Death Wish then. I've seen I saw the Bruce Willis one. I didn't think that was that bad. It was okay. And then I love the James Wan one with Kevin Bacon, but I didn't even really know that was a remake. But yeah, that's why you have Aaron Pym here. I feel like you're going to be able to answer every single question tonight because you're that big of a movie fan. Do you like Richard Jewell? Have you seen Richard Jewell?
My God, I'll probably have to Google right now, but the name's Western.
It came out 2 years ago. It
that
was
was a
about
movie.
the bombing in Atlanta during the Olympics, and it was the guy that pretty much warned everybody that there was a bomb and got him away.
You know, I was trying to think of an actor name when you said Richard Jewell. I was like, okay, is there an actor name? Like what? No, actually, yeah, I've seen it, and I did like it, but I'll be honest with you, I don't remember it well.
Yeah, it was directed by Clint Eastwood. I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. I think it was one of the more underrated movies that came out that year, actually, because a lot of people wasn't really talking about it. Griff Duck says, "Evening, all." Mr. Nichols says, "Congrats on the 4K, bro. I appreciate that, Mr. Nichols." Sydney Eubanks says, "What's up?" Culture Cheney, what up, good people?
Hey.
Will Shane get a 4K? You think Shane will get a 4K? I have heard of Shane, but I haven't seen him.
Eventually, I think we're going to get a lot more 4Ks coming out now. Now that we're seeing a lot of labels doing it. Now that we got Criterion rumored to be doing a 4K, and we got companies heck, even we got Umbrella, Kino Lorber's doing 4Ks now, and I could easily see it coming from Kino Lorber if they had the rights to it.
Kino's dropped a bomb over the weekend. They said they were doing Eastern Promises. They said they were doing Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You probably already covered this on your channel, I'm sure.
I didn't actually because I've been crazy busy recently at work.
Yeah,
but.
And then I guess the other two, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More is coming. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Misery, Silence of the Lambs. Those are all coming this year. So yeah, they've been killing it with the 4Ks. Let's see. What's up, Ken? Anybody else got the Dead Zone today? Are you getting the Dead Zone, Aaron?
Eventually, not yet because I'm still waiting for some. Well, money funds are a little low. That's
I know.
But I love that.
This Criterion sale has killed me, and I get people that watch my Blu-ray hunting video today probably noticed because I only grabbed 2 titles and they were both $5 titles. I was like, I just can't spend any more money on A Quiet Place 2 for $30 and stuff like that. I gotta take it easy for a little bit. But yeah, I actually do have the Dead Zone ordered. That one's coming in with House of Wax whenever they decide to get off their butts and send it over to me. The Blu-ray King said, "Smash that like button, guys." Jose Sanchez says, "What's up, guys?" Griff Duck says, "If you guys don't know Aaron, he's the go-to source for all boutique info. He's like an encyclopedia." Yeah, guys, look. I cannot oversell Aaron enough here. He really knows his stuff when it comes to these boutique labels. So if you are at all interested in just learning more about them, definitely go subscribe to his channel for sure. He is right. Bifford the Hobbit says, "Aaron, your thoughts on Anthony Bourdain documentary that used deep fake Anthony voice to comment on current events and politics." Do you know about this, Aaron?
I've heard about it. I'm a big fan of his last girlfriend, Zia Argento, because I'm a big Argento fan. I've kind of steered clear of it so far because I do like Bourdain and I do like Zia, and I heard that she gets a bit of a bad rap. I'll eventually give in and succumb and check it out because I do it with all documentaries. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this. And then, I'm turning on my Crave where we have HBO, and I'm watching all the documentaries. So I haven't seen it yet, but I'll eventually watch it, and I'm probably not going to like it, especially if they say anything bad about Zia, because I'm a big Zia Argento fan.
Yep. Well, I haven't heard nothing about him. I'm glad you knew about that. Tiana loves movies with a super chat. Thank you so much, Tiana. I really appreciate that. She says, "Congratulations on 4K, Ken." And yeah, I appreciate it. I need to get myself a little buzzer for the super chats. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Let me scroll back up here. I lost my place. All right. I think I found it. What's up, guys? Nope, I haven't. Stranger Boy. Hello. What's up, Stranger Boy? How you doing tonight? Tony's Movies and More. Hello, Ken and Aaron. How are you doing tonight? Appreciate you being here, Tony. Movie Buff says worst Criterion.
Original Unibaba release. Not that Unibab's a bad movie. I love Unibaba, but the original Criterion release of it, the DVD release before it got re-released, was a bad transfer. So for me, that's the worst Criterion.
Is that the one that was just announced to come out in October?
It's when the new one coming out again. But I got the original release and I was not impressed. So there you go.
Okay. There you go. The Blu-ray King says the weekly question by Blu-ray King: do you like Forrest Gump?
Not really. I'm in the minority, but I'm not a big fan of Forrest Gump.
I was getting ready to say who doesn't like Forrest Gump, but then you said I don't like it. So there you go. There you found him. He's right there. Bonnie Festa says we have movies all over the house. LOL. Yes, I imagine you do with Susan as your daughter, Bonnie. Stranger Boy 101 says, did you collect DVD when it first came out in 1997?
Well, I am super old, so hopefully I don't look as old as I am, but I am. I collected VHS, and when I was a kid, we used to have CEDs, capacitive enhanced discs, which was out before VHS. They were like these plastic kind of square things, and you put it in the machine, and you took it out, and the disc stayed inside, and you had to put it in there and do it again. But I started collecting with VHS, and it was really hard to get certain things. So if I wanted to get like Italian Westerns or Giallos or titles like that, then there was this company called Video Search Miami. And if anybody here that's a little bit older might remember who they are. So you'd pay your $5. They would send you a catalog, a little kind of like catalog around this big. And you'd choose there'd be like just a list of movies with like really no description. And so you had to know what the movie was. So then you'd pick a movie, it would cost you $25 flat, whatever the film was. And then you'd send you $25. You wait like around a month or so. Then you get like a VHS come in the mail, and it would have a kind of a light, kind of greenish blue, kind of like a cardboardy case with just the name and the description on the back of it. And sometimes it was like a copy of a copy of a copy, but they just weren't available yet. So I've been collecting since VHS, but I've had to restart my collection several times because of moves. And it was around like 9 or 10 years ago that I really started collecting seriously again. And the very first thing that I picked up at that time was this 75th anniversary of the Lone Ranger set. And
wow.
Lone Ranger fan when I was a kid, and it's like a really cool set. It's got it's got a book and like trading cards and like a bunch of stuff in here. And,
is that DVD or Blu-ray?
Oh, this is the early stuff. This was like DVD.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was like a gorgeous looking set. You can see the
yeah, that's awesome.
But it was the first thing about it. Started a new job, and I said, okay, I'm going to start collecting again and see if I can actually get a decent sized collection. And I started to, and that was my gateway drug. After that, I started like buying Shout Factory stuff. They started doing a Roger Corman collection, and Robotech had come out at that point. And there's a new Robotech coming out now, like a new box set. But I was a big fan of Robotech growing up. So I would actually, when I heard that Robotech was coming out, I had to pick that up. And for those that are anime fans, this was my gateway drug to anime. And I'll never forget Ryfucker. I won't. But yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gotten into the anime yet. I know a lot of people usually give me crap about it, but I did commit to at least watching a couple anime films by the end of 2021. And I haven't done it yet, but I want to watch a couple like Studio Ghibli titles or something like that. Because they are on HBO Max. Lifelong Guru God says, any lifetime collectors remember 1997 when illegal to purchase DVD media blackout only could buy in 5 cities in USA. Do you remember that?
Oh, well, I wasn't. I'm Canadian.
So. Yeah, you weren't down here, so I guess that wasn't a thing. Arrow Video or Shout Scream Factory? It's a good question.
Out of the two of them, Arrow is more versatile, I think, and they just do better overall. Like, just look at pick any Scream Factory box, and I love Scream Factory. I got a whole shelf from right over there. Pick any Scream Factory box set, and then look at Gamera, and there's
yeah. I agree with you. I think their transfers are better, even on their Blu-rays, and the work they've been doing in 4K just this year alone has been stellar. That Django box set was freaking insane. That looked so good. Probably one of the best looking 4Ks, and also Tremors that came out last year.
And Crash was really good too, actually.
Yeah, I didn't get to check out Crash, but I forget that. What was the other one? Donnie Darko, but that was kind of the botched disc and debacle that went on there. I don't know if we can count that one. The Blu-ray King says, guess the movie Back Metal. I don't know, man. You're causing me to think too much here. Congrats on 4K, kid. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Tony says, congrats. Appreciate it, guys. Grifford Duck says, Makala is from Masker Video for anyone interested. Let's see. Blu-ray King said, just followed Aaron as well.
Thank you, man.
Jared Runner said, howdy, everyone. What's up, Jared? How are you doing? Tiana Loves Movies says, hey, everyone. Stranger Boy 101 says, how many DVD, Blu-ray, 4K players do you own?
Players. So I've got 2 region-free players, because nowadays you got to be region-free, and I recommend, if you're not region-free, guys, to look into that. It will change the way that you collect. I
got one, but I haven't hooked it up yet.
Oh man, it will change everything. I have 3 other DVD players that are kind of like backups. I have a DVD VHS combo player. I have a Laserdisc player, because gotta have my Laserdiscs. And I have another VCR down here that I forgot that I had, actually. And I guess I have a couple like PS2s attached to some of my retro TVs, because I got a couple like CRT TVs as well that I do like retro gaming on. And I got like a PS2 attached to each one of those, so that I can watch like movies upstairs and downstairs.
Awesome.
More than I should probably, but I'm going to get more because I'm moving to Morocco, and obviously it's a different it's a different like format there. So I'm going to be.
You're moving to Morocco. Whoa, Morocco. That sounds exotic. I don't know exactly where Morocco is, but it sounds pretty cool.
It's in kind of, I guess, Northwest Africa.
Oh, really? Are you going to be streaming over there?
Oh, yeah. I'll probably going in like more hardcore over there, because I'll have more time to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my better half is from there. She's from Casablanca. That's where she was born.
Yeah.
And we'll be about like an hour or so from Casablanca, in this kind of like big city called Marrakesh. And
that's over there by like Egypt, right?
No, that's a ways off.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I've been to high school. I need to up on myself on my geography.
I suck at geography, man. And like basically, when my better half told me she lived in Morocco, no idea. So I said, so where exactly is Morocco? And so she said, well, it's in Africa. I'm thinking, because I'm an idiot and I don't know geography. I always sucked at geography. Oh, wow, this must be really fascinating, seeing all these like big city stuff and all this stuff here. So eventually we go and we fly to Morocco with my kids. And the first thing that I notice is it's this huge metropolis, like bigger than like most places that I've ever seen. And I'm like, I feel like an idiot.
That's so cool though. I can't wait for your streams in Morocco though, for sure. Lifelong Guru guy says, I just boxed up 6,000 DVD to move to another display area.
I feel that pain, man.
No, I'm watching the movie Joker while on the stream. Okay, I got you. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay, I got you. Stubb says, howdy, I just watched the Wraith Blu-ray. Did you get that one? I watched and reviewed that one last week. I had never seen it before. It was a wild movie though. Definitely wild. Planet Mondo said, good to see you, Aaron. Good to see you have Aaron on. Would love to see you get Film Fan 108 on eventually. Definitely. There's so many people I want on this show. 073 Media says, congrats on 4,000. Thank you so much, man. Scott Travis says, that sure does not look like the Blu-ray King. No, he's not the Blu-ray King. He is the Cult of Cinema. Favorite Carpenter in The Mouth of Madness, The Thing. The Mouth of Madness was pretty awesome. I watched that one for the first time when I bought the Scream Factory edition a few years ago, and I really love that movie. That's another one I think is super underrated from Carpenter. Movies and Sue says, congratulations on 4K. Ken, thank you so much, Movies and Sue. Congratulations yourself. You just hit 4K also. Stranger Boy 101 said, Big Trouble in Little China or Escape from L.A.
That's a different choice.
Those are very different movies. Probably Big Trouble. To be honest, I've only seen Big Trouble in Little China one time, and it's been a very long time. I don't remember it very well. I don't even remember liking it. I think it was like 13 or 14 when I watched it. Escape from LA, same thing. I don't remember either one of them.
Easy choice for me.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go Big Trouble in Little China. I feel like it's more iconic. I don't know.
Big Trouble in Little China is a classic. The only reason that movie didn't do better is because it's such a huge eclectic style film that it's really hard to market. And as a guy that went to school for public relations, I could feel the pain of the PR people trying to market this. Well, there's horror, and there's action, and there's comedy, and there's kung fu. So yeah, but it's a fantastic film.
I feel like that's one that's probably going to get a 4K within like the next 2 years. I feel like that one. I feel like that would be a pick that they would do, either Screen Factory or Arrow or something. But Screen Factory already owns it, right?
Yeah, like I think Studio Canal did it. So the more than likely,
did they?
Okay,
Did they do
a bunch of Carpenter.
Yeah, I know they did. They did Prince of Darkness and They Live and The Fog. Was Big Trouble in Little China in there? It might have been. You might be right. You might be right. I think it was Escape from New York. I think it's the Prince of Darkness, They Live, and The Fog. I think those are the four in that set. But you might be right. They might have another one. I'm not sure. Full Metal Jacket, your thoughts on the movie?
I love it, actually.
I love that movie, too. That's my second favorite Kubrick. Eugene Rawl says, hey, everyone. Bluebird King says, Sausage Party or the Emoji Movie. Get out of here with that, man. Hey, how is everybody doing? My Killer Podcast in the house. Great channel. Go check her out over there. Thank you for joining us. GK Fan 69 says, Aaron, mid-level, I am sure needs some Vinegar Syndrome recommendations. I believe he only has one title. Oh, he's saying I need some Vinegar Syndrome recommendations. Well, trust me, I go in Aaron streams all the time and ask him for recommendations. I still have a list like wrote down over there from when I joined you and you gave me some recommendations one night. So I have an idea of where to start. But yeah, the only one I have is that Bloody New Year one, and I just bought it like randomly like 3 years ago.
Remember Jay Warren? Fun film.
Yeah. Yeah, I still need to watch it. For me, best Carpenter film is They Live. It's a good one. Ken, since you hit 4K on YouTube, you have to buy all the 4Ks at Best Buy. Most of them I got that's on the display. A lot of them, at least. Stubb says Titan is by Raw director. Did you see Raw? That was a crazy movie. Married with Media says, hey guys, that's my wife right there, our YouTube channel. So definitely go subscribe to us. Dominican Scott says, hello, nice to be on your live stream again. Well, appreciate you being here, man. Bonnie Fezza says, hi, Michelle. Basement Blue says, hi, Married with Media. Hi. Favorite John Carpenter film? We answered that. Hey, Tony. Everyone always asks, what's your most valuable film? Let me ask, what is a film has the most sentimental value? It's a good question.
That's a really good question, actually. Oh, God. It's probably something animation, to be honest with you. Something that I grew up with. I got the Spider-Man 67 collection, and they put it out, but there was like rights issues, so we got like yanked off the shelf fairly quickly. Yeah. But when I was growing up, I still live in Canada, and in the mornings we'd have like the original Spider-Man, and we'd have like Hilarious Head Frankenstein and Rocket Robin Hood. And the Wizard of Oz was this really like short, like really badly animated Wizard of Oz cartoon that would come on every morning. And when I was going to visit, I lived with my grandparents when I was growing up, and I would go visit my grandmother every once in a while. And that's passed on. Actually, both all my grandparents, almost all my grandparents have passed away now. But I would go there in the mornings and we'd watch Spider-Man, and that was one of my things. And I'm still like a huge Spider-Man fan. Like I collect comics, I collect omnibuses as well. Started that actually this year. But a Spider-Man 67 definitely is one of those that I just get a good feeling when I watch it. And the same thing when I watch like Looney Tunes, like the Gold Collection specifically. The Platinum Collection is good too, but the Gold Collection that they did, the DVD collection, there's just so much. There's so much there, and I can sit down and watch that anytime. And if you want like something that's not animated, Black Christmas, which is my favorite film, came out.
Oh, is it really? That's cool. It's a good movie. I like that one a lot. I just watched it for the first time a couple of years ago.
All right, see, that's the movie that turned me on into wanting to actually, from like looking at films as stuff that I would like just consume and then just go on to the next film. But Black Christmas, because the way that the camera work was done and the way that the music was set up and the acting, it made me want to know more. So I wanted to know like how the setups were done. I wanted to know how this camera moved over this building, how they did those shots. And that's when I fell in love with cinema. So it's
also very interesting that movie is directed by the same guy that did A Christmas Story, which I found absolutely fascinating because they're two very different movies, but they're both Christmas movies. So
They're baby geniuses too. So there you go.
Baby Geniuses too. Awesome. Well, you said you like Looney Tunes. How'd you like the Space Jam movie? Did you watch the new Space Jam?
I haven't seen the new one yet.
You haven't seen the new one?
I'm nervous. Hope it's
it was humorous. I didn't. People were hating on it. I didn't think it was that bad. Choose one Eddie Murphy movie: 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop. I got to go with Beverly Hills Cop. I haven't seen the other one.
Oh, 48 Hours, fantastic, man. Definitely check it out. Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
You can skip the sequel.
I want that. I want that Paramount Presents title. So if I order the Paramount Presents title, then don't get the sequel. Is that what you're saying?
You can. You're gonna be a bit disappointed, but you can.
Yeah. The collector in me probably couldn't avoid that one. Let's see. Invaders of the Body Snatchers, 1958 or 1978. Haven't seen either one, but I am willing to guess that you've seen both of those, Aaron.
I've seen all the Invasion of the Body Snatchers films. The Philip Kaufman's 1978. I love them both, but the Philip Kaufman 1978 one with Donald Sutherland is definitely my favorite, and it still creeps me out to this day, especially the ending. It just cold chills. Yeah,
my favorite Body Snatchers movie. I mean, it's not a Body Snatchers movie, but has like the similar story as The Faculty. That's the one that I grew up with. Back from 1998, Robert Rodriguez. So did Aaron used to watch the Blu-ray Kings channel?
I may have. Actually, I watch a lot of channels, but sometimes I just don't remember the names of them. We watch YouTube, like in here, aside from movies, we don't watch a lot of like television, we watch YouTube. YouTube's our TV. So more than likely I probably have at one point.
Yeah, I think he's a YouTuber that doesn't make videos anymore. And we got another Blu-ray King in here, but he's the Blu-ray King, and that's Blu-ray Kings. And I know he gets a lot of crap because he took his name. But my thing is, a lot of people have similar sounding names out there, guys. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Ben Buster said, due to the super chat, Ken can buy more movies. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. But the super chat money is kind of going into a separate fund pool. Because I do want to kind of upgrade my camera and stuff like that. So I don't really use that money for the movies. More just kind of saving for better upgrades. Let's see. Beverly the Hobbit said, should I buy Zack Snyder Justice League today or wait for Black Friday?
I'd wait.
I would wait too. I'm kind of getting into this mindset when it comes to these like new studio release movies, the ones that hit theaters and are coming out 4K. I don't need to buy those right away. Most of the time I've seen them like recently because I went to the theater to watch them or I watched them on streaming. So it's like the need to watch them isn't there. And it's like, if I'm just going to go into Best Buy in like 2 months and they're going to be marked down 50% off, why do I have to buy it like immediately? I don't know. It's just how my mind's starting to work. That's why I didn't grab Quiet Place 2 today. Let's see. Stubb says, tiny furniture, worst criterion for me. I've never heard of that one.
Lena Dunham.
Never heard of that one. Sorry I'm late. Oh, well, thank you for being here, Sean. I appreciate you joining. No, he doesn't like Forrest Gump. I hate to disappoint you, Blu-ray King. Tyler Shum says, hi, everyone. I'm new here. Love your channel. Well, thank you so much, Tyler. I appreciate that, man. Let's see. Scott Travis said, did Aaron enjoy Repo Man?
Or which one? The original or the musical? Like both of them I like. So the answer is yes.
The original. Talking about this one.
Oh yeah.
Criteria. I'm guessing that you have this, don't you?
Actually, I don't know if I do. I mean, like I had it like on a DVD at one point, like a crappier version, but I got it.
Yeah, because they had a DVD of it too. I didn't like. I wasn't like in love with the movie when I watched it for the first time, like a few years ago. But I had to have that set. Like that cover on that is freaking insane. Like I love it. And I think that's from the opening credits too. I think the opening credits are like all green and kind of old school, like computer type stuff. Let's see. Aaron as a legend says Kobe Dog 31. Absolutely agree, man. Griffer Duck says, if someone is new to Giallo, what films should they pick up first? I would say I'm kind of new to Giallo. I've only seen like the Argento films, and I'm just getting into like some of Fulci's work. So yeah, but I'll let you take this one.
So when it comes to Giallo, it's a cool little genre. Basically, for those that don't know, it's they're Italian like mystery thrillers. They started out in the 60s with people like Mario Bava, but they really came to their own when Dario Argento like put a stamp on them. So you're probably gonna, if you want to get like the kind of the more like I guess the hyper violent stuff that when you think of Giallo, the black clothes and the really stylish killer, then there's a few that you're gonna want to get. you're going to want to get like Blood and Black Lace, Maribab. Now, it is a cool little title.
Write this down, people, because I've got my pen and paper right here.
And it's got some great kills in it. And basically, like Maribab himself said, these are some. There's just the talking was just there to get to the kill set pieces, and it is a beautiful, beautiful film. If you're trying to get somebody into giallo that doesn't like horror or doesn't watch a lot of horror, then the very first one that you should show them is Bird with Crystal Plumage by it was the very first thing that Dario Argento did. It was actually
just got the 4K release this week.
It did actually got a 4K release, and he was actually speaking with Bernardo Bertolucci, who was going to do the film because it's based on the book Screaming Mimi. Bertolucci had to do something else, but Argento was in love with the book, so he did that. The Friday the 13th 4 of giallo, in other words, the one that takes all the good stuff of giallo and puts it into one film, is Profondo Rosso, called Deep Red, also by Argento.
Oh, I love Deep Red. That's one of my favorites from him.
Fantastic film. My favorite Argento film, giallo film, is Tenebrae.
That's mine too. That's mine too.
Yeah. Yep. And Martino, you got to get Strange Vice, Mrs. Ward, and your vice is a locked room and only I have the key. And from there, I would definitely recommend looking at Lucio Fulci, and Don't Torture a Duckling is something that isn't like kind of should be in everybody's collection. It 100% should be in everybody's collection, whether you normally collect giallo or not. It's a really good, well done film, and it's a very personal film for Fulci, and very angry. Aside from that,
yeah, that one's been on my radar for a while, but yeah, Tenebrae I love. Suspiria is like the flashy one. That's the flashy Argento one. I do love Suspiria. I've grown to love it. But when I watch,
I've got a merch store, and the newest T-shirt that I'm doing on my merch store is literally Suspiria is not a giallo.
That's funny because a lot of people would assume that it is, because it is very much, it's kind of in that style, but the way I understand giallo is there has to be some kind of like mystery component to it. There has to be like some kind of detective storyline for it to be like a pure giallo, and it's also supernatural too.
Like that, there's a lot. It's more of a supernatural like story.
Would Phenomenon be a giallo?
Yes, Phenomenon and Suspiria are almost what you call a dark fantasy.
Okay.
Because they're dealing with like,
what about Fulci's Zombie?
No, my God.
Okay.
No, that's a zombie film. But no, like stuff like Suspiria and stuff like Phenomenon would more be along the lines of Argento was really scared of things that scared a lot of us when we were young. Walt Disney films, like the Witch in the Walt Disney film, Bambi's Murder, stuff like that. So when you're looking at Suspiria, and when you're looking at especially a Phenomenon, go into it knowing that Argento was creeped the hell out by Disney films, especially Phenomenon. You will see like a lot of like Disney references there, especially with the kind of the firefly that represents like Tinkerbell and characters like that.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen Torso. Like that's one of the what's the director? What's his name again?
Sergio Martino. The same one.
Sergio Martino. Okay, so I've seen Torso like a couple of months ago. That's a giallo, right?
It is, but it goes on the line of what you call a giallo and a proto slasher, and it fits the criteria, but it almost, because of the way that it's done, it almost shoves it over into like slasher territory more. So it's kind of like a hybrid between a proto slasher and a giallo, but it definitely fits the giallo category.
Okay. All right. Well, you're dropping some serious knowledge on me tonight. But yeah, that's why I love you. That's why I love you. Let's see. Tiana Loves Movie says, what are you planning on watching tonight? You plan on watching anything tonight?
Well, I work tomorrow, but more than likely, I don't sleep early. So I'm probably going to watch. I got my Vinegar Syndrome. Like I got a subscription now, so I got my first set. I watched Shiva Baby last night. I recommend that to everybody that don't have it.
Oh, me and my wife watched that a couple of weeks ago on HBO Max because they put it on there. I was kind of unsure about it. It's different. It's different. I like movies that take place like in one setting in one location. So it checked the box for that for me. I don't know. There's something about it I didn't like fully engage with, like the characters. But
I think I like the character. That's
one that I might watch again in a couple of years. And I might like more. I don't know. I was just kind of unsure. My wife didn't like it at all.
Really?
But no, she didn't like it at all. But yeah, we talked about that like on a stream we did on our channel a couple weeks ago. For me, I don't know what I'm watching tonight, to be honest. Sometimes I just don't know until I get the movie. I'm going to try to watch that new RLJE title, Jacob's Wife.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna try to watch this one either tonight or tomorrow night, one of those nights. The Blu-ray King says, I don't like anime. It's not for me. It's okay. It's not for everybody. Love Robotech. Mean my Lisa Rick, a animated love triangle.
Right on. You really like your
Robotech. Let's see. Kobe Dog asks, Kim, will you buy some Vinegar Syndrome titles now that you've had Aaron on the show? Yeah, I mean, I want to get into it, but the way my mind's kind of working right now, I'm trying to. I don't know. I go in so many different directions. Right now, I'm trying to just focus on certain boutiques. And then once I get so many of those, I want to try to work into some of the other ones. I don't want to get addicted to another boutique label right now. My wallet cannot take it at this point. But yeah, I definitely want to start collecting sometime within the next year or so. Crunch Butt Steak is in the house. Welcome, Crunch. Says, watch Ninja Scroll and Akira if you haven't already, Ken. I haven't Crunch Butt Steak, but I appreciate you being here tonight. Let's see. Everything well, I hope. Pitch Black 4K is deliciously good. I haven't seen that one. Did that look good? I imagine it looked pretty good with the black levels and everything in the 4K.
But it wasn't like a totally Arrow. That was actually one that they got the transfer for. That was the first one, along with Flash Gordon, I think. And then Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I think I remember those two coming out around the same time.
And then after that, they did their own transfers.
Yeah. Vikash says, Aaron, Steelbooks or slipcovers, which do you prefer?
Slipcovers, because you can take a slipcover off and change the artwork around. Steelbook, if the artwork's not good, you're stuck with it.
I agree. Kobe Doc 31 says, Aaron, do you think you could beat Ken in a slip and slide contest?
I'm not sure about that.
I'll go ahead and answer that. But when you move to Morocco, I'm definitely coming over there, and we're having a slip and slide contest in Morocco, because that just sounds like something you would do over there. Stranger Boy 101 says, Aaron, did you collect HD DVDs?
No, I mean, which is odd, because I did. I was like an Xbox type person at that point.
Yeah,
but the players were hard to find. And by the time they were hard to find, the movies were hard to find. But it's actually something that I still want to collect, because I do collect older formats. So I will be collecting it.
Yeah. Yep. Thoughts on 4K and Glorious Bastards announcements? I mean, that's something that's been floating around there forever. I know Arrow was supposed to do it at one point, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Tarantino to finally get some 4K out there besides Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I kind of wish that Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs would have been the first to be announced. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on that, Aaron?
Anything Tarantino, like 4K, I'm good with. Like, my favorite Tarantino is probably now Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Which great. That goes up on my list every time I watch it. I
thought it was going to be one that's going to be super depressing. I was going to like it, and it was totally different than I thought it was going to be.
It's so much fun. Side Hustle Cinema said, what's up, everybody? How's it going? What's up, Side Hustle? Go give him a sub over there. I know he dropped his See You Next Tuesday video today. Kobe Doc 31 said, which Halloween sequel are you guys most excited to get in 4K? I don't know. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, I do. It's hard. It's a tie probably between 3 and 4. 3 because the visuals on 3 are going to be insane, because it's just such an insane.
It's a colorful movie with all the masks and stuff.
And 4 because it's probably the best of the Halloween sequels when it comes to really showcasing like this autumny Halloween type of feel. Like, obviously the first one tries to, but you can tell, that it's not. But when you get to part 4, there's these scenes, and there's going to be this scene that I'm going to be looking forward to, and it's the scene at the gas station when Loomis meets up with Myers and he's got the bandages on, and of course, Myers gets away. There's an explosion that I'm looking forward to seeing in 4K. I would say part 6, but it's not coming out yet in 4K, because that I think
no. And the 4, like, I feel like more so than the others. Maybe you can correct me. I feel like 4 takes place like mostly at night, and I know that most of them all take place at night. But I feel like 4, when I think of it, I just think of it like all dark. I just think of that movie as like all dark.
Yeah, it's like when they go to the pharmacy, and when she's in school and that, right? But like 5, maybe a bit more. like the start. Both of them start in the daytime, but both of them like kind of segue into night actually fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you notice, I had the old like 4K. I can't believe I'm saying it now. The old Halloween 4K that came out before, and one of the things that I noticed is where Halloween is such a dark film, and the 4K was so good on the last Halloween one. Though I'm like, there's sequences here that I didn't realize, and I've seen this movie so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I'm excited to get them on. They went on sale a while back, so I pre-ordered them.
Part of me really wants 2 also. I love 2. It's probably one of my favorites. I think I like 4 a little bit better because I've got nostalgia for 4. It was the first Halloween movie I ever watched. But I part of me just want to be able to watch that Halloween. I've seen Halloween in 4K, so I really want to see part 2 in 4K. Just because it just feels like those 2 movies just go hand in hand, just how they take place in the same night. Lifelong Guru says, I keep my DVD and Blu-rays in a 400 disc carousel player, 17 DVD players, and 7 Blu-ray, 400 players. 400 players? Jesus. My Killer Podcast says, congrats on 4K. Woo, woo. Thank you so much, My Killer Podcast. Crunch Butt Steak says, may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Great words of wisdom from Crunch Butt Steak. Kobe Dog 31 says, what was wrong with the Lionsgate version of Halloween 1978 in 4K? Why are they re-releasing that one?
Well, I think it's just really got the rights to it. But
I mean, it's Screen Factory, so why not? Like, they didn't do the original one.
Yeah, and it's a new transfer. I like the last transfer. I will be getting the new one though because there's a lot of new features on it, and we don't know yet. Like, if you go over and you see the features, and you say, okay, well, this is what's on like the box set. Like, I'm guessing you like me, both got the box set, but there's more features that haven't been announced yet for those 4K. So keep an eye out because early August, Screen Factory is announcing new features for those films.
Yeah. Do either of you own the Batman v Superman 4K remaster? I mean, I have Batman v Superman 4K. I don't have the new one though.
No,
there was the new one with
I had a good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great transfer, that original one, so I didn't feel the need. I mean, I know it had the IMAX or whatever, but who cares? Big square aspect ratio. Let's see, Happy Day or Freaky. Happy Death Day or Freaky. Have you seen both of those?
Yeah, I'd love them both actually. I love Freaky a lot, but I really love Happy Day.
Freaky's gorier. It's rated R. Happy Death Day is rated PG-13, so you get more gore in Freaky. But I think that Happy Death Day has a better story. I think it has a more interesting story and a smarter story.
Yeah, I'll go with Happy Death Day, but Freaky's really good too. You're good either way, guys.
And a better performance. I think Jessica Roth is like excellent in that movie.
She kills it.
And I didn't love the sequel that much, like I was hoping to. I was super excited for it, and it kind of let me down. But I love that first one. Let's see. Planet Mondo said, I watched the Mondo Kane documentaries today, and I don't think I'll ever be the same now. Either of you seen them? Have you seen those?
Yeah. I saw the Mondo.
Who is Mondo Kane, or what is Mondo Kane?
Like the Mondo documentaries they're pretty much. See, Mondo documentaries done back in the day to put in stuff that you really couldn't get away with. They'd have like the. Like these people that were supposedly being killed and satanic sacrifices and like tribes, like nudity and just gore, like random gore and stuff. They were not well constructed films, but I do kind of have a liking for some of them, not all of them.
Yeah. There you go. Scott Travis said, Vinegar Syndrome has a lot of great sexploitation films and black exploitation films like the Dolomite series.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
And Griff Redux films. Like there's 4 Rita Ray Moore films, but there's actually only 2 Dolomite films. So there's Dolomite and there's the Human Tornado. The other 2 are just like films that he did.
I need to see the original Dolomite. I love the Netflix one that Eddie Murphy did, which was kind of like the disaster artist, I guess, type movie where it was kind of recreating the making of it. Griff Redux said, did you guys catch the Ghostbusters trailer? I did. I actually did a reaction with my wife over on our channel earlier today. Did you watch it, Aaron?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I was watching it like basically on break at work, so I didn't really get to really like focus on it too much. But yeah, I thought it was okay.
I enjoy that trailer so much more than I did the first one. I'll say that. I didn't like the first trailer they did, but I really liked this one. 4K Media guy said, what's your favorite movie from the Desperado trilogy? Probably Desperado.
Mariachi. I remember seeing it on VHS back in the day. I was in love with that film, like obviously there's prettier people in the in Desperado, with some high
I don't
action
think I've
stars.
seen El Mariachi.
It's really
I
good.
don't.
It's
Yeah.
quirky. It's weird. It's like it's indie, but it is so well done.
There you go. My favorite Carpenter film is Assault on Precinct 13.
Great
Love your
film, great
channel.
score.
Thank you so much, man. I need to rewatch that one. It's been forever.
It's
Let's see. Steph BM says, I'm pretty new to 4K Blu-ray. So do you think that 4K will be susceptible to bit rot years down the road?
I don't think so. Not the same way that DVD are, because they're done. It's done differently. It's like they're coded better than, like, say, DVD was. DVD was an earlier format, and even DVD. I've only ever had rot on one of my DVDs. Like, out of everything that I got here, I've only ever had like a rot on one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Goodwill all the time looking at old DVDs from probably like 20 years ago. I don't ever see any disc rot. So, thoughts on Sex World 4K? Aaron,
You need
you
it.
got any thoughts
like,
on that?
It's the first like adult one that Vinegar Syndrome put out. That's 4K. It's actually got a really decent story to it. And if you don't like adult films, or if you're not like your so much, it does have a soft core version of it. So you don't have to watch the really raunchy stuff if you don't want to. And after you watch that other version and you look around, realize that nobody's looking, and you go and you watch the other version. That's what's going to happen.
There you go,
but
guys.
it's a really good film. It was actually one of the it's a higher budgeted like adult film back in its
There
day.
you go, guys. You go watch Sex World for the story. You heard it from Aaron. Daniel MC says, I would like to know which Walmart did you find Saul's? My husband and I are watching your video that you posted today. So yeah, Walmart has the DVDs, but they don't have the Blu-rays. So yeah. I don't know. Daniel, are you in my area? I don't really want to call out like my exact location.
It's in my
if
area.
you guys, yeah, but yeah, I mean, Walmart, from what I've seen, only has the DVDs, not the Blu-rays. Don Morton said, favorite Carpenter film was Prince of Darkness. Saw it in theater in '87. Great time. I watched that for the first time this year too. That's a really fun movie.
Fun story. I actually saw that in the theater back in '87. It was middle of the winter. I'm walking home afterwards, and it's like snow has been piled up, and I've got to walk through a graveyard because it's the shortcut to my house. And I'm walking, and the snow is really up. So I'm walking through the graveyard, and I feel something hard. And I said, "Oh, is this a rock?" And I suddenly realized, no, it's not a rock. My foot is on the top of the tombstone, and then I just booted for the rest of the way home. I love Prince of Darkness.
It was a good one. It's one I honestly probably would want to upgrade that to 4K because I watched the old Blu-ray version. Because it looked really great, and I can only imagine what it looks like in 4K. Let's see. GK Fan 69 said, having worked in public relations, what do you think is the best course of actions for the labels to do with leaks or possible fake leaks, like the Nightmare 4K, for example?
Oh, that was such a disappointment when I found out that was a fake. But yeah, go do what they did. You gotta go in front of it. And here's the thing: even if it turns out to be not fake and something that they're releasing. You go out, and if you're not sure, if it's not something that you're ready to show, you deny. And later on, if it when it comes out, when you're ready to make that big announcement, fantastic, make that announcement, make a big deal out of it. I can understand, and I get like why you get a lot of companies get really frustrated with a lot of stuff that gets leaked out. And I do personally myself, I don't mind like some of the places, but I do get bothered, but sometimes by the leaks, because I think about how frustrating it can be for a company to get the acquisition for these films and get the features done, try to put them together. I know a few people that know some people, so there's certain things that sometimes I'll know, and I'm probably you do too. You know that a release is coming out. I never like say until the release is announced, just because. Why kill that thunder? That's one of the things we get excited about. Now, coming up is going to be the August releases for Vinegar Syndrome. They do it at the first of the month. I don't want to see them leaked anywhere ahead of time. I want to find out on the day that they come out, because it's fun. It's cool. It's the anticipation of it that I like.
Yeah. Well, I am ashamed to say that I probably am a part of the problem, because I do my physical media report every Monday, and I discuss all of those leaks and rumors. But I I do make sure to tell everybody they are rumors. They're not true.
Oh yeah,
As of
everybody
yet.
does. I mean, I'll talk with certain ones. It's just
But
ones that
I had to talk about those Nightmare 4Ks yesterday because that was like the talk of the Instagram yesterday. But yeah, I saw the Scream Factory. They came out and announced it or denied it or whatever. But what do you think that means? Do you think we're getting a Nightmare Blu-ray set first and then 4Ks?
I don't think we're getting either yet. I initially thought that we might when Scream Factory did Friday the 13th, and some of the Friday 13th films obviously were our new line. I was like, okay, this is a really really good chance to see like some Nightmare on Elm Street set. This is the door is open, and it is opened. But if you look at the Friday the 13th discs that are on that set, they're the ones that don't have any extra new features on it. They're the ones that are the old releases. So all the parent ones are new with new features. But when you get to the new line releases, you just get the regular Blu-rays. So I'm hoping for it, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
I feel like it's going to be a while. I feel like it'd probably be till at least 2023. I don't know. That has to be an ambitious set to put together. I feel like they're probably working on that Friday set for, I don't know, 2 years before it came out.
And it's so strange because Nightmare put out the best like DVD set for any horror. Like their DVD set's amazing.
I still got it right behind me. Right behind me. I love it. I'll say it all the time. Like, I'm not buying that Blu-ray set. I've heard bad things about it, and I'm happy with my DVD set. I've got Nightmare on Blu-ray, just standalone, the first one. But I'm not going to upgrade until like a boutique label does it or they do 4Ks or whatever. I'm gonna stick with my DVDs. And I think I watched a few of them this year on DVD or last year. I forget when it was.
I picked up the Streamline set for like $10 somewhere once upon a time.
Yeah, I love that box set. Aaron said, do you thumb your nose at people that prefer dubbed over subbed films?
Why those best? No, no, I don't. I prefer to have my film subtitled most of the time. But that being said, if it's like an old kaiju film, like something that I kind of grew up with watching, like the Godzillas, I definitely like to watch some of those dubbed. But there are certain films that I will watch like subtitled. But the thing is that it's just for me. If it's like a film where they have like a lot of Italian actors, I watch a lot of Giallo and stuff like that. Then I'll definitely want to get there, like the way that they're actually acting, and I like the way that somebody's like projecting.
I always prefer it that way too. I like to get the actor's actual emotion. I like to feel that emotion, whether it's in a language I understand or not. I just always prefer subtitles. And I don't mind subtitles because I watch English movies in subtitles because oftentimes I'm watching movies like low volume because the kids and wife are asleep upstairs and I don't want to wake them up. And I'm getting a little older and I'm kind of hard of hearing. So I'll put the subtitles on anyway. Sean Pynn, your favorite movies from him? I actually missed that question, so I went back to it. But Sean Pynn, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's a good one. The Game. I like those.
Throw a couple others in there. I really liked At Close Range and Bad Boys. I really like Bad Boys.
I've heard a lot of good things about it at Close Range. I forget it might have been on one of your streams, to be honest, but I feel like I've heard about that movie. Movie Buff said, "Do you like Snake Eyes?"
Haven't seen it yet, but I love the character of Snake Eyes, and I'm looking forward to the film.
Yep, have not seen it either. Stranger Boy 101 says, "Do you own more DVDs, Blu-rays, or 4Ks?"
For a long
I would say
time,
Blu-ray for me, for sure.
For a long time, it was DVD for a long time, but now I own more Blu-ray, like by far. 4K, it's just just getting started. I just got maybe a couple hundred, not a lot.
Yeah. But guys, we are at the 10 o'clock mark and we do have 56 people in here. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. I would definitely appreciate it if you hit that like button, and also subscribe to Aaron at his channels down below. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter. I would say Twitter is probably your most active social media place, right?
It is. Like I
didn't even know you had an Instagram till the other day. I was looking you up because I wanted to tag you, and I found you. I was like, I didn't even know you had an Instagram.
I love Instagram. I go to Twitter to just to post when I'm doing a video, but I most of the time I would prefer to use Instagram more. I just haven't had a chance. To be honest.
Yeah, I understand. I spent $60 importing the 4K of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
You're a fan, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's see. From Germany, have we talked about the worst movie you ever bought or saw?
in like,
I'm
there's three
interested to hear
categories.
your thoughts on this one because I feel like you've seen a lot of bad movies, in addition to a lot of good movies.
So here's the thing: I love a lot of bad movies. Like I got a lot of bad movies in my collection. So there's two answers to this. One answer is gonna be fairly easy. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I really didn't like that film. I didn't like
thought
the
you were
first
going to say the first one. I was going to be right there with you, man. That's
but
it.
not the second one more so. Like the first one, I think he at least is
See, I
trying.
actually like the second one. I like the second one.
I honestly feel that Rob Zombie only came back to make the second film because he wanted to like stick it to the studio. And you
Hmm.
know, all the power for him for doing that too. Because I don't mind Rob Zombie. I like a lot of his movies actually. I like
Yeah.
Lords of Salem is my favorite one that he made. But my favorite bad movie, like really kind of bad movie that everybody should see this, by the way. It was an exploitation film done in 1989. It was put out by Intervision, which is a sub-label of Severin, that's shot on video films, and it's called Things. So it is insane. I think I have it. Do I have it back here? Because if I do, I will show. Yes, I do. So this is Things.
Things.
Rocking the mullet. So this is bad, but it is good in the way that you will watch. This is one of those movies you're going to be like, what the hell am I watching? I can't believe I'm watching this. I had to show everybody that comes to my house this movie. And that's what happens basically. And they're like, this makes no sense, but it is so enjoyable. So
Yeah.
this is the best bad movie. Forget Troll 2, forget The Room. Things is the best bad movie of all time. So I'm calling it now. Hot take.
Troll 2. Oh my God. Scott Travis says, favorite John Waters film. I'd have to look him up to see if I've actually seen a John Waters film.
You'd be surprised. Like, though I do like, you know, Crybaby, I like Polyester.
Yeah, Crybaby I've seen.
Maybe Pecker. I know it's an odd choice, but it's just one that I kind of go back to, and I know some of his most popular ones, one of his least popular ones.
I feel like I've seen Pecker. I remember when that one came out. Who's that got in it? Edward Furlong? Christina Ricci. Yeah, I know I've seen this because it has Christina Ricci in it. I know I watched that. Crybaby I've seen.
Crybaby,
and I think that's it. I think it's just Crybaby and Pecker that I've seen from him. Well, there you go. I need to watch that movie again because I don't really remember it. Congrats on 4,000, Ken. Thank you so much, Just Say KB. Cal Deli says, Cal L in here. LOL. Hey, Kenny. What's up, man? Pops Movie Dungeon says, hey there. We'll have to catch up on the replay. Well, I appreciate it, man. Replay live, however where you want to watch it. I appreciate
your channel, by the way, Pops. I've checked it out. Just recently I was watching one of your videos.
There you go. And I'm pretty sure he's new to YouTube as well. So, yeah, definitely go subscribe to Pop over there. Go subscribe to Movies with Ryan as well. He just started up his YouTube channel. And he says, what kind of tasty snacks do you gentlemen prefer while watching movies?
I am a chip fanatic. I have chips and I have Twizzlers, but not just regular Twizzlers. I have two types of Twizzlers that I like. One is the orange, like basically the creamsicle Twizzlers, and the other one is the tropical Twizzlers. So I'll have a cup of tea. I will have a lot. I'll have cheese, and usually Swiss or Havarti, aged, pickles, chips, and Twizzlers.
Pickles, chips, and Twizzlers. That's a good. It's an interesting combination. I like popcorn. Obviously, I eat popcorn while I watch stuff. I love chips and salsa. Like I could live the rest of my life and just eat chips and salsa. That's all I need. And just I don't know, peanuts. I eat these little like dried like edamames. I think that's how you say them. But it's like a plant-based protein. They're super good for you too, but I eat those all the time. And then pistachios, I love also, and granola. So there's some healthy stuff in there. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm a Stranger Boy said favorite special features to watch. Mine are commentaries.
I love commentaries, but right now I think I love visual essays. Visual essays, and Arrow probably does them best. But visual essays, like they suck me in. And you see like visual essays done on YouTube all the time now. Like there's a lot of different like people that do them and do them fantastically. And they're so interesting to watch. I can just watch them like over and over. I can watch like 24 hours just to watch them visual essays.
Yeah. I just like the plain old actor director interviews. That's my jam. Cal Daly says, Ken, what made you change your artwork? I didn't know I did. I didn't even know I had artwork to begin with. You have to elaborate. Top Nashi Films. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep.
Paul
That's hard. I
Nashi.
mean, if it's Paul Nashi himself, he was going to say Frenchman's Garden, which is actually a really good film. I don't have it yet. I really liked. Oh God, I really like Curse the Devil actually, and I like Beast with the Magic Sword. And oh God, there's so many. Hunchback the Morgue's really good. A Werewolf versus Vampire Women is also fantastic. So definitely check those out. Like anything you see Mon Macabre put out with Nash on it, usually it's really good.
Yeah, I haven't checked out any of his stuff yet. Kelly said, do you think Criteria will ever do Netflix, Bird Box, or Amazon's The Boys? I mean, they don't do a lot of TV, do they? So I don't know if they would do Amazon's The Boys, but Netflix, Bird Box, I don't know. Maybe they do some Netflix stuff, but I don't see Bird Box being on their agenda. They mostly do like the prestige Oscar movies.
Yeah, like The Boys will probably get its own release down the road. Wouldn't be Criterion though. Criterion's only ever done really one TV one that I can think of. That was a Golden Age of TV set, which is actually a really good set. I got picked that up. God, I used to have that a long time ago. But yeah, I'd say Netflix will probably put that out themselves. As far as Bird Box, probably the same actually.
Yeah. Let's see. For anyone new to boutique, Severed and Vinegar Syndrome has huge Black Friday sales, half off most everything. Get on that. Yeah, I'm going to save my money for that. The only bad thing about that is that's going to come in the middle of another Criterion month, 50% off. So I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I get so stressed out about this stuff sometimes. Owen Movie 75 says, have you guys seen Honey Boy? Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Shia LaBeouf.
Actually, I
seen that one?
No.
Check that out. I think it might still be on Prime because it was an Amazon movie. And it hasn't, I think it's got an overseas physical media release, but it doesn't have like US. But yeah, it was a good movie with Shia LaBeouf. It's kind of like a true life story with him. Griffer Duck says, I recently watched an Atoma Extinction. Have you guys seen that one, or Tokyo Gore Police?
I've seen Tokyo Gore Police. Actually, I got that over there somewhere. I actually like Tokyo Gore Police. I haven't seen the latest one yet.
Let's see. Excited to live and die in LA in 4K. Such a great movie. Thoughts? Yeah, that's apparently coming from Kino too.
It's a favorite of mine.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. Who's that got in it?
William Peterson from CSI. It's a star. He's kind of like his edgy. Just go in blind. Don't like watch anything about it beforehand. Don't watch the trailer. Go in blind. It's got one of the best like scores too. Like To Live and Die in LA has this amazing score and this incredible song. Because To Live and Die in LA, when I do my videos, I listen to music before I start a video to get ready, to get myself in the right headspace for it. And To Live and Die in LA is one song that I listen to.
Awesome. I need to check that out. I'll probably just get the 4K and watch it for the first time. That's what I love with all these catalog titles that are coming to like 4K, because a lot of them I've never seen before. So it's like I get to experience them for the first time in like the best possible version. And yeah, I love that. 073 Media said, Ken, great show. Love the channel. Aaron just subscribed. Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Definitely. Everybody in here right now, you have to subscribe to Aaron. Definitely do that. Cal Daly says, Halloween 4 seems to be the best 4K and the most improvements in picture, but I do believe Halloween 5 will be the best upgrade because the black levels and a lot of night scenes. Okay.
Could be right, actually.
All right, so let's see. Hey, Ken, congrats on 4K subs. I'm so excited for Halloween 4K Scream Factory releases. I already pre-ordered Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 4. Well, thank you, Alex. And but no Halloween 3 or Halloween 5. He's sleeping on the Halloween 3. I really like that movie. I didn't like it when I was a kid because it didn't have Michael in it, and I always skipped it because I bought the trilogy in VHS when I went to Walmart when I was a kid because I'd gotten 4 for Christmas. My uncle got it for me or something. That was the first one I watched, and then I went to Walmart and I had to get the VHS trilogy box set. So I watched the first 2 and I loved them. And then I got to the third one. I'm like, where's Michael at? I'm like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. And I hated it ever since. And then I rewatched it like 3 years ago and loved it. So there you go. Alex Thomas says, I'm getting Halloween 3 and Halloween 5 soon. I'm such a sucker. Right. There you go. Let's see. As an 80s collector and a super fan, I agree To Live and Die is a very good film. Awesome. So yeah, 073 Media has an interesting channel because he only collects movies from the 80s. He's made it his mission to collect every single movie that was released in the 80s. So I do like that.
I'm an 80s kid, so
there you go.
Man.
What's going on, everybody in the chat? Super excited for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind 4K from Kino Lorber. Thoughts on this movie? You're going to be disappointed in my thoughts because I haven't seen it yet. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've seen it. I think I watched the whole thing when I was a teenager, but I don't remember much about it. I may have just watched like half of it and turned it off. I don't know. Maybe I didn't like it. Maybe I wasn't ready for it back then.
I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it. I mean, like it's a good film. It's a really good film, but it's a really depressing film.
Yeah.
And that's like the same reason that I didn't buy the new Irreversible when it came out from Indicator. It's the same reason I'm probably not going to get that one right away, because it's just something that I got some movies here that are pretty dark, but some of them just gets a little bit too much for me. So yeah, I don't know. Eventually, I'll get it.
Yeah. I need to watch. A lot of people talk that movie up. Happy Death Day, easy. Even the sequels was awesome. Awesome, man. Arrow's True Romance 4K came in today. Had to get it from Amazon UK, and the 4K was sold out everywhere. Did you get that one, Aaron? I know a lot of people are posting it up, and it looks beautiful. And I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't get it.
Haven't bought anything in a while yet. Actually, it's been since the Severance sale. I haven't bought anything since Severance sale.
Yeah, man, those sales, they kill you. They kill your wallet, and you just can't do anything for you. Crippled for like weeks after that. Let's see. Alex Thomas says, "Why are people trolling us with the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K from Scream Factory?" I don't know, man.
It was a weird announcement. Like I'm not sure who did it, but it's weird.
It's the way the internet works. Let's see. Scream Factory listened to us. We want a Nightmare on Elm Street box set. I think we'll get the box set first.
Do you know what I think? That they said, we're not doing the 4K. But that does not mean that there's not a Blu-ray set coming out like they did with Halloween or Friday 13th.
I mean, that's what I said yesterday in my report. I was like, I don't think that this means we're getting 4Ks, but it may mean that there's something there. Like they're working on some form of Nightmare release, and I think that's a Blu-ray set. And the guy was probably just trying to hyper intensify it by saying it was 4Ks and get everybody even more excited. I don't know. John Carp's Bodybag is an underrated one too. That's one of his I haven't seen. That one and Vampires, I think, are like among the last like 3 on my list from John Carpenter. I've been slowly working my way through all of his filmography, but
the very first story in like Bodybags is kind of Halloween adjacent because it is actually set like just outside Haddonfield.
Yeah, awesome. I need to check that out for sure. Favorite Carpenter film was Halloween and The Thing. Those are great ones. What's your guys' most anticipated movie that hasn't come out yet? Halloween Kills. Yeah, that's it for me. And Dune and Denis Villeneuve's Dune. God, yes. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't even really know Dune that well, but yeah, I haven't seen the David Lynch one. But anything Denis Villeneuve, I'm there for. He's the best filmmaker working today, in my opinion. Gannon Fish says, "What's your guys' most anticipated movie that hasn't come out yet?" I already asked that. Most anticipated movie of 2021.
Still Halloween Kills.
Yeah, the same thing. I don't need Nightmare on Elm Street on 4K. I just want the box set like Friday the 13th. I think
I can agree, actually.
Stranger Boy 101 says, "Most beat up and worst condition slip you own." For me, it's the Banana Splits movie slip. I don't know, but I do have a VHS case of Friday the 13th Part 3. That I took over a buddy's house when I was a teenager, and his dog ate it, and it's all mangled, and I still own it. So that's probably my most beat up case.
Sadly, mine aren't. I put a bunch of like VHS in this box downstairs in the basement of the place I lived in St. John's, and it flooded.
Yeah,
so, yeah, those became mush.
There you go. The Nightmare DVD set is beautiful. It is. I finally got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 4K Steelbook. Now I have a complete MCU Steelbook collection. Awesome. That's definitely a great Steelbook collection to have. Is all 23 of those movies, or 24? I forget. I guess it's 24 now with Captain Marvel, right?
Black Widow?
Or not Captain Marvel, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow. Cal Daly said, "What bad thing have you heard about Nightmare on Blu-ray?" Curious. I don't know. Kobe Doc 31 says, "You think we'll get the Scream sequels in 4K if the original sells well?"
110%.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they just didn't come out with all of them on 4K, to be honest. But yeah, I guess they're seeing how that first one does. GK Fan 69 says, "The old Halloween 4K is from the Interpositive, and the new Scream Factory 4K is from the camera negative, so definitely should be."
There you go.
There you go, man. Halloween 4K Scream Factory $27.99 on Amazon. Yeah, they're definitely cheaper on there. Aaron, do you have a Halloween box set?
I picked it up the first day it came out. Actually took some time off work to wait at Future Shop to wait for it to
Yeah,
open up and grab it.
I wasn't really collecting Blu-ray when that came out, and I don't even think I knew of Scream Factory that well yet because it was like 2014, and I had all my DVDs, so I never bought it. It wasn't on my radar. So I do need those 4Ks. Hairspray is good too.
Yes, it is. It's really good. Actually.
Let's see. Have you guys seen on the Silver Globe? It's absolutely visually stunning. I haven't.
I haven't, but I'll check it out.
Let's see. Hello from Montreal, Aaron. What's up?
Hey there, welcome, man.
Somebody up there by you. What part of Canada are you in?
I am in right now. I'm in Nova Scotia, so I'm originally from Newfoundland, but we moved here around like three or so years ago, and I'm still getting used to it because it's very much a smaller area than I'm used to living.
Yeah,
and I want to get to Morocco. Like this is a great place, but I want to get to like a big area. He sent me actually. Steve sent me some 4Ks recently. Actually, sent me some Rambo and stuff, and that was so cool.
Awesome. Also, Cecil D.B. Demented, crazy movie. I have not seen that one. Lifelong Guru guy said Beastmaster 4K. Will you pick it up?
I did actually. When it first came out, I got the VSU edition.
Yeah, they re-released it this week, right?
Yeah. So it's a great release, by the way, guys. If you like Don Coscarelli and you like Beastmaster, it should be in your collection.
Vinegar Syndrome killed it with releases this week. I think they came out with like 5 or 6 titles. Let's see. Check out Banshee series, most underrated show ever. I've heard of Banshee. I think I watched the first 2 episodes. It was good, but I never finished it. I think it was on Cinemax or something, so it's under the radar for sure. Aaron, thoughts on the new Mondo Macabre announcements?
Oh, nice. I mean, so obviously, I talked about when I was doing my Called Giallo video, when I did the first one of those on my Patreon channel, I actually talked about Designated Victims because basically it's kind of an Italian version of Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train in its own kind of unique way. So if you like that type of stuff, Thomas Milian is in Designated Victims. It's a really good film. Human Animals is one, and that one's kind of insane. So that's going to be kind of take or leave for some people. And the other one with David Hemmings, Beyond Erotica, again, you're either wait for the trailer because you're either going to like it or not. But I can say Designated Victims 100%. There's one that I would grab, and I did like mention it during my Giallo talk a while back.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely check that out, guys. Shout out to the Hillbilly Hunter. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm glad you appreciate the Hillbilly Hunter. George Much says, I know Aaron, but I'm new to your channel. Just going to say hi. Well, I appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, George. Let's see. Stranger Boy 101 says, I think every Halloween fan as a kid didn't like Halloween 3.
I like that.
Did you like it like when it first came out?
Yeah, like what I remember when the trailers were coming out. And it would just like show like these kids, and it would just kind of show them in silhouette, and like the music would play, and it would be like Halloween 3, and it was just so the guy's announcer's voice was so scary, and I used to have nightmares about the trailer. So when I saw it, I was like this. I knew kind of going in as soon as I saw like certain names on there, I was like, oh, this is from the guy that did like Quatermass. That's kind of cool. So I actually I dug it.
Did it have the theme song in the trailer?
I don't think it had the
like the Silver Shamrock,
like Silver Shamrock one. No, it didn't have it. I don't think in the trailer that I saw. It had like more of a kind of ominous type of theme, but it was it creeped me out.
All right, cool, man. I got a few questions I want to ask you, Aaron. Just a few of my own questions that I'm curious about. So you watch a lot of movies. What's your favorite genre to watch?
It is probably Giallo, which you could probably tell from when that question was asked. Right up next to that is like it's a toss up between slasher and film noir. Those tend to be the 3 that I go towards the most. But I'm very eclectic, so I've got everything here from like silent comedies to musicals. But definitely Giallo is probably my favorite. It's my comfort.
Yeah, I'm getting into Giallos, and I really enjoy those as well. And favorite genre is such a weird question to ask because on the surface you could just say comedy, horror, sci-fi, but when you really break it down like and discover that all of these like mainline genres have all of these subgenres underneath of them, there's just so much out there. to enjoy. So let's see, top 3 actors. Can you name top 3 actors out of all the movies you watch? Who are your favorites?
Actors that I go back to. I'm trying to think. Are there any actors that really stand out for me? Like I like a lot of actors, but like the ones I usually lean towards some actresses actually more because of the type of films that I end up
Well,
watching.
let's see. Top 3 actresses. Got that
Uh,
right there. If that'll be
Edward
easier for you.
Finch, Edward Finch, probably for sure. Uh, I'm gonna say Dagmar Lysander, and I'm probably gonna go with. Oh God, this is hard. Barbara Boucher. We'll go with Barbara Boucher.
Okay. Top 3 boutique labels.
This is harder than you think.
I
Vinegar
imagine
Syndrome
it
is
is.
definitely right up there. Arrow Video, because I have more of them than anything else in my collection. And I go back and forth on whether it is going to be like Severin or lately I've been really digging some Umbrella stuff too. But we'll go with Severin for now.
All right. And I mean, I would say that you cover a lot of Severin and Vinegar Syndrome
Oh yeah, because they put a
on
lot
your
of
channel.
stuff out there and put a lot of Jello. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're the go-to guy when it comes to that kind of stuff, I would say. So, what's some of your favorite releases of 2021 so far as like physical media releases?
Thus far, I mean, I don't have it yet, but the Arrows put out a spaghetti western box set. That's really good.
The Vengeance Trails?
Yeah, Vengeance Trails, amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for it to come, but I am super stoked for Blood for Dracula 4K. That was like a white whale for me for like years, and the fact that it's come out, and I know that Flesh for Frankenstein, the other Paul Morrissey film, is coming out too. I'd like to see Bad come out eventually, but those are the 2 big ones, obviously. Like Blood for Dracula and Flesh for Frankenstein were like 2 that I really like, and of course the Shawscope. Both me and my better half pretty much shrieked with delight when we saw what was being announced for the Shawscope release. That's one that we both want, and that's something that we're going to pre-order actually. And the Damaging one's actually one we need to grab too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember announcing that Shawscope set. It looked like a stunning box set, and I know I've said that it's a common theme on my channel, but I haven't seen a lot. There's so much out there I need to watch. But people are criticizing me in the comments that I haven't seen any of the Shaw films, and I'm like, I'm sorry,
man.
guys.
You see them with like new eyes. I would love that.
Yeah, I was like, that's the way I think. It's like I'm having so much fun just watching all this stuff for like the first time and just experiencing. Then it's like every movie I watch, I feel like a new door opens up to like so many other ones. And I'm just having a hell of a time experiencing a lot of this stuff for the first time. Let's see, how large is your collection? That's like the question of the show. I don't know why nobody's asked that one yet.
A lot of times, like I used to think, I said, "Oh, it's 3,000." Then I realized, like I've been saying 3,000 for years, and then I said, "Was it 5,000?" And then my better half's like, "No, it was 5,000 like a couple years ago." I don't know right now. It's way more than I want to admit. we'll put it there.
We'll say if it was 5,000 a couple years ago, I think it's safe to assume it's probably cracking 6,000, maybe close to it.
It's over.
Possibly.
When I said 5,000 a couple years ago, it was already over at that point. So
yeah,
let's just put it this way. Like a lot of people say more. I would downplay for reasons because my better half.
Let's see. Top 3 horror films. You think you could name those? Do you have like a 3 that's like is your top 3, or is it like harder for you than that?
I go back and forth. Black Christmas, obviously, is one of my top horror films of all time. Tenebrae, and let's go with what are we going to go with this time around? Oh, it's so hard. Let's go with Friday the 13th Part 2. I love that one.
Awesome. I love Friday the 13th Part 2. I didn't register you said that at first, but that's my favorite one. That's a great one. So one thing I want to talk about is you got the opportunity on your channel. I thought it was really cool, but you got to interview Jamie Blanks, which is the director of Urban Legend and Valentine. And I thought that was a super awesome interview. And I definitely encourage everybody watching this to head over your channel and watch it. What was that like getting to interview him?
Insane. I mean, like it was definitely a dream. Basically, what had happened is I was filming. I was not filming. I was taping a podcast. I think it was Cobwebs at the time. I was taping the Cobwebs podcast, and it was going through Skype. And I saw a message from like 6 or 8 months ago because I never opened up my Skype to check the messages, right? And it was just a written message. It was a really long message, and it was like, "Hi, I'm Jamie Blanks. You know, somebody sent me one of your videos. I like I watch your stuff. Scream Factory is putting up My Bloody Valentine. I know that you live close to where My Bloody Valentine is being made. I'd like to make a connection between both of you so that you can, maybe you can shoot some footage from basically from Sydney Mines where Valentine's Bluff was done." And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, my God, I'm just seeing this now, and like I literally just bought My Bloody Valentine, so I missed out on quite the opportunity. So I emailed him back because his email's there. And when you first hear that, and when it's somebody like that, you're like, is this really him? Type of thing goes through. That's the first time, and like, and if it is, did I screw this up really badly by not checking my messages? So I messaged him back. I talked to him, said hi. I said, I'm glad you've been liking the videos. Apparently somebody had sent him my review for Valentine and for Urban Legend. And those are two. I love those two films. And Storm Warning too. Storm Warning's fantastic.
I would say Urban Legends. It's like I love Scream. I'm not a huge. I know what you did last summer. So it's like right after Scream, it was always Urban Legends for me as far as like the '90s era slashers. I love both of those movies.
It is so good. And if you haven't checked out Valentine, I mean,
oh no, I checked that one. I love that one too. But it's just not as high as the other one.
Storm Warning, like Storm Warning, so needs a good release. Now. He's a composer too. He does all the music in his films and does music for other films as well. So Howling Wolf Records is putting out Storm Warning on CD. And
these are the two movies, guys. If y'all don't know the Scream Factory titles,
and Urban Legend and Valentine. Like the Urban Legend special features specifically, really, really good. It's got a whole disc just of the special features. It shows one of his early films, part of one of his early films there as well, like short films that he did.
Yeah, and Urban Legends is really cool because it's got like Robert Englund in it, and it's got an awesome cast anyway. Like there's so many people. Jared Leto's in that movie, Joshua Jackson. You got freaking Tara Reid and Rebecca Gayheart. Like there's so many great people in the movie. That movie has a stacked cast. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was super cool. It's just something I wanted to call out because I think that's something that people should know, that you're a big time horror director interviewer. Do you have any plans to get anybody else on the channel?
I do. I mean, I'm still working. There's some people that
you don't have to say who, but just
there was a guy that we keep like ships in the night, but there's a cinematographer that I would like to get on that did some stuff. So I'll but I got nothing to announce quite yet.
Awesome stuff. So Cal Daly says, did you guys like Superman in 4K? I didn't hear much about it. I never saw it, and another thing about me is I haven't seen Superman, Richard Donner's Superman. I've seen parts of the second one. I remember the diner scene, just something I remember watching as a kid on TV, but I haven't actually like sat down and watched both of those movies, so that's something I need to do. I know that,
but yeah, I don't have it yet. I still have my old steel Superman DVD set. I gotta upgrade it though.
Yeah, can only imagine the Dolby sound on New Nightmare in 4K. I'm sure it would sound amazing.
Dolby Atmos.
Oh yeah, to hear Freddy's glove like above you and behind you, jeez, it'd be scary as hell. No love for Candyman movie.
I love Candyman, man.
Can't wait for Chucky. Yeah, I love Candyman. That's like one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
I think he means a new one though, and I'm looking forward to it. And the Chucky TV series looks insanely good, man.
Oh yeah, to be honest, it's probably like Halloween Kills, Dune, and then it's Candyman. Those are probably like my top three. Stranger Boy 101 says, when do you think they will release the official artwork for the Scream 4K? I don't know. I keep posting like different cover art for Scream because they won't actually put out the actual. It's been announced, but they won't put the freaking artwork out yet.
Speaking of the Scream movie, that's something I'm actually very much looking forward to.
The new one, I think it's coming out in January.
Yeah, so like that's
yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm interested to see what they do with it. Hopefully, it's not because I've heard different things about it, and from what I've heard, like it sounds like it's not going to be very creative. It's just going to be like a straightforward like continuation or whatever. But I'm hoping they do like some kind of interesting twist that makes it feel fresh and interesting.
I think that one of the things that they can do to make it fresh and interesting is one of the things that they are doing. And because people are saying, well, they're not doing a meta like Scream this time around. And I think we've gotten as far as we can without.
Well, I was
like,
actually hoping for like a new Nightmare kind of route, where it because that's how you can bring back like Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich and even Laurie Metcalf and freaking Timothy Oliphant. There's been so many great people in that franchise, and maybe like do the actors where Ghostface in real life is like killing them. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen.
When I heard like some rumors of people being on the set, right? But it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I think that we're finally going to see core cast members getting killed, and it's about time because Scream has been too safe of a series.
Yeah.
And
it's
for me,
David Arquette, Courtney Cox. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Scream killer?
God,
like
that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Because I mean, you're basically basing that off of like the reveals at the end, because everybody, it's just generic Ghostface going around killing everybody in all the movies. So I don't know. I like. I feel like Laurie Metcalf's had really good motivation, and I actually liked her like explanation. And I thought she was kind of creepy too when she revealed herself. So I might go with her. I love Scream 2 though. It's like neck and neck with the first Scream for me. I love them both.
See, for me, it's going to be very controversial here, but I love Jill as a killer because I think from Scream.
In the fourth one, I mean, I love her too. I love Scream 4.
She's the darkest of all the characters. People say, well, Timothy Olyphant didn't really have a reason to do it, and all this type of, and this, but no, Jill wanted fame, and she would kill her family, her mother, her friends that she grew up with in order to do it. And that's darker than any other thing. Like with Timothy Olyphant, like people like wonder, well, he was just, they found him on a serial killer website, which is sort of a joke. And he talks about like, I don't mind being caught because there'll be the trial. And it was done around, I think 97 was when Scream 2 came out. Yeah. So it was like a couple years after the O.J. Simpson trial, and basically when trials, like murder trials, become like a big thing on TV. They're like a must-watch TV. So it kind of was a motive of its time. But Oliphant, I wish he would have had more time on screen. He was so good.
Yeah, that was the first movie I ever saw Timothy Olyphant in. Was Scream 2. So yeah, it's I think definitely dead last would be I forget the actor's name, but the one from 3. I don't think that 3's that bad of a movie. To be honest, I still enjoy it.
The character's Roman.
What's his name?
The character's name is Roman. He's from
Roman. Yeah, but I don't know. I love Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich. I love their team up in the first one too. That's a very difficult question.
Matthew Lillard's not dead. His character's not dead.
You don't think he's dead?
No.
Think he's coming back? Do you think? So you don't think he died in that first one?
No, like he's even in this. He's in part 2. He's kind of in part 2. Just keep an eye out on the party scene. He was on set. He was on set during the time of the party scene. Initially, when Scream 3 was coming out, it was going to be him. And
he got the TV dropped on his head, right?
Yep.
The TV dropped. Yeah.
Basically, what it was going to do was basically he was going to be in jail, and it was going to be a bunch of people, like younger people, that he was kind of like masterminding as a killer in the third Scream film. Then a school shooting happened, and they had to change that. And instead, that became a series that lasted for 3 seasons, I think, called The Following. So if you've ever seen The Following TV series by Kim Williamson, that is what Scream 3 was initially supposed to be. And the main like bad guy, the kind of the cult leader, was supposed to be Matthew Lillard.
Really? I wonder how they would have explained that with him coming back.
I say like
how they would explain like nobody knew that he came back. Is it like they took him to the morgue and he like got revived or something, and then he just ran off and nobody knew that he came back? Like I don't know. Or is it something that Neve Campbell knew but she never discussed?
And she just kind of like didn't talk about it. Like
she knew but just said he never talked about it. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's like part 4. Part 4 initially was supposed to have 2 killers. Part 4 ends up having like 1 killer. But there's a girl that he stabs in the stomach in the hallway in part 4, and she was initially supposed to be the second killer.
Okay. All right. Now, I love the opening of part 4 too. That's a great opening. Planet Mondo says, are you guys looking forward to the Green Knight for May 24 this Friday? They also released the trailer for The Lamb. I didn't watch that, the trailer for The Lamb, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Green Knight. It looks awesome. It looks like A24 like going like more big budget, but also like it still looks like it's kind of independent too. I don't know. It's kind of a weird dynamic between the two, but I'm really looking forward to that one. The Lamb, it's all I need is a poster. If it's A24, I'll watch it. So I don't need to watch the trailer and potentially get anything spoiled. Just finished watching Cinderella Man. Great movie. Can't really think of a bad boxing movie. Can you think of any bad boxing movies?
Not a fan, no, actually. Probably Rocky 5.
I like Rocky 5 still. It's I like the street fight. Street fight. I thought it's ridiculous, but I still enjoy it. Oz WWF says lots of Warner Archives Blu-rays being released today. I thought they just had one this week. It was like Herculoids or something. Yeah, Out of Prince accidentally hit send before I fixed my last, or oops, accidentally hit send before I fixed my last comment. It's all right, Rob. Have you been to any conventions?
Yeah, I have been to a few actually. I used to go to the Montreal Comic Con and the Montreal Horror Fest. They were kind of joined together for a while. I actually got to see Tom Savini's like documentary on him a few years before it actually came out on Shudder. And the one on Shudder is very different from the one that I saw initially. It was they definitely edited it more. I like the original better. Savini's is a really nice guy. I always hear that Savini's like not nice in person, but he actually was really nice. I went to the
Sex Machine.
Love that.
Yeah, I haven't been to a lot of conventions because like I live in a very like rural area, and they just don't come around here. And I don't really do a lot of traveling either. So I would love to like start going to some, especially like some horror conventions. Those always look like super fun because a lot of the old like horror actors, like they don't really work a lot anymore and they're not like super famous anymore. So like they're usually all there, at least from what I see from pictures. So I would love to like go hang out at some horror conventions for sure. Chris says, hey, how is it going? What's up, Chris? 1970 says, question for both, hardest movie to find and add to your collection?
That's a really good question, actually. But I really don't know. I mean, like, because for years there was movies like Alone in the Dark. Now that's coming out, and then it was things like there were so many, but they've all come out. So right now, do I have any white whales in my collection? There's probably some more TV or animated stuff than there is anything else that I still don't have. But something that I'm looking for. I'm sure
True Lies is something we definitely need to come to 4K or Blu-ray even. It hasn't even gotten a Blu-ray release yet.
We need Jamie Lee Curtis in 4K.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And not just in Halloween. We need some other ones. Let's see. Rob Savage and Trading Places as well. Rob Savage says, any thoughts on Scorpion releasing and Kino supposedly releasing Fritz the Cat on Blu-ray this summer?
Yeah, actually, they're supposed to be releasing both Fritz the Cat and the 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat, which is the sequel, which is okay, not as good as the original. I'm a big fan of I grew up like reading comics, and when I got to like college, I used to read like the indie comics and the Ash Cans and stuff like that. So I do like Fritz. I'm a big fan of Crumb. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to get them.
There you go. Favorite of the late 90s and early 2000s horror mystery movies besides Scream?
Easy. Valentine followed by Urban Legend. And I like both of them. And not just because I know Jamie, but if you go back to my channel, you'll see it. I like them. And I actually do like I Know What You Did Last Summer and the sequel. I still Know What You Did Last Summer. I always Know What You Did Last Summer. I
don't even know if I saw that one.
Well, you got to see it, man. It's like, it's not the guy.
I like how you say, I hate that, but you got to see it.
You do. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's super. All of a sudden, the killer is supernatural, right?
Yeah.
And it's got, oh God, who's that? Don Shanks, who plays like Michael Myers in part 5 of Friday the 13th, right? So no, sorry, in Halloween. So he's the killer, like the fisherman killer. Except now he's this like ghost zombie guy, and like, the
Really?
reason it happens, it starts, is because this guy is like doing the skateboarding trick and trying to like scare some people. He ends up skateboarding off of a roof. It
Yeah.
makes it's horrible, but I love it.
That sounds completely insane. Yeah, I just remember like the first one's okay. I watched it a couple years ago. It was okay. It held up all right. I used to not like it at all. I just remember the second one has like Jack Black as like the Rasta guy or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous, but I would say The Faculty. That's one of my favorites in that era,
Great.
and also Urban Legends. Let's see. Did either of you see 1991 movie called Stone Cold with Brian
Hell yeah.
Bosworth and Lance Henriksen? Great action movie. Undercover cop infiltrates biker gang. Haven't seen it.
I
But you
have
have?
hold on a second.
Oh yeah, this is what Aaron does. You say I remember I joined your streams, and I would name a title and you would go grab like a special collector's edition of it.
So this is the label put up by red label put up by 101 Films. The neat thing with this is that it has inside of it the poster for Stone Cold, and it's kind of a quad, so it's super cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Love this movie actually.
It's awesome. I need to watch more films. What am I doing streaming? I need to watch movies. Culture Trini said Ken is so lost at the moment. LOL.
He's never lost.
Welcome to my life. Like I feel like I'm always lost just inside my head. Let's see. Planet Mondo says, how are you gonna move all of these movies to Morocco?
Amazing.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
When we travel to Morocco, we take some with us each time. I've already got most of my criterions taken there. But we're going to be crating up most of it and putting it over on a boat. So it's going to take about a month to get there.
That's awesome. Aaron's movies on a boat. That gives me anxiety, to be honest.
Me too.
That much physical media traveling on a boat.
That's why some of my good stuff, like really good stuff, is getting sent over already, right?
I feel like we could make a disaster movie based on that with your something striking the boat and you have to go save your movies or something. I don't know. I feel like there's something there. Chris says, did you guys think we'll see Happy Death Day movies and Freaky on 4K? I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't know. Possibly. I have just ordered Hammer Volume 6 and also Black Label Hell Knight. Just curious, are you getting those titles for yourself?
I've got
Hell Knight.
It's really good. I love Hell Knight. Recommend it to anybody. The Scream Factory's edition is amazing. I think the same features are on the 101 Black Label edition.
That's Linda Blair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll look better. Like the 101 Films edition will look better because it'll have the sexy case. And I do have to get the 6th Hammer one because I got to get the 5th one too, I think. I've only got the first 4.
Awesome. Let's see. Jeff says, where do you see physical media in 10 to 20 years? Do you think it will still be around in some way? That's the question, isn't it? That is the question. What's your take on that, Aaron? Everybody has their own take on it.
What you're seeing right now, like the way you're seeing it going right now with boutique labels and ordering online and more like kind of specialty stuff. More of this. I think a lot of people like think, okay, well, there's so many streaming sites and like streaming is going to replace films. And people are going to stop buying films because they can stream them. If you've ever gone on Netflix and want to watch a movie and then like a year later or something want to watch again and realize that it's not there. People are starting to realize that. Netflix, Peacock, all those streaming services, they're meant to take the place of cable. They're not meant to take the place of actually owning physical media in your house. So I think it's going to be pretty much, it may be more specialized, but it'll be like this. And it may be a bit more expensive too. It'll be like, kind of think of like the way records are right now, become a really kind of like a big collector's item. You're going to see certain films go like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people view physical media as like going to Walmart and getting the latest release of the week. And I don't think that may go away. Like new releases in stores may be a thing of the past in the next 10 to 20 years, but it's all going to move to like the boutique markets and the online retailers and stuff like that. And I think the same as you as far as like streaming services. I feel like there's so many of them and there's like literally 20 announced every single week. Yeah. That streaming bubble is going to burst eventually. And people are going to realize that it's cheaper for me to just own these movies and buy them outright than it is to subscribe to 200 different streaming services to get to watch them. I think that's going to happen. And you're already starting to see that shift a little bit, I think.
Just that's Quibi.
Yep. Let's see. Stranger Boy 101 says, haven't seen Urban Legend, but I do own part 1 and 2 on DVD. Awesome. Check them out, man. GK Fan 69 said, do you think Scream Factory will move away from doing 4K scan steelbooks to instead go straight to 4K releases?
Not as long as they're getting money with those steelbooks.
Yeah.
I wish so.
They're not going to 4K only anytime soon. Is the 4K Indiana Jones set worth getting? I think so. I thought it was a phenomenal set. I watched all of them. I actually have a review up on the channel you can go check out. But did you get that set, Aaron?
Not yet. I was looking at it in the store and wanted it so bad, but I just couldn't afford it right now.
It looked stunning. It was great. Stranger Boy 101 says, if Scream 5 went new Nightmare route, that would make me question if Life was a movie.
Well, it could very well be. You never know.
Yeah. Scream 4 is my second favorite Scream movie. It's a great one. It's my third favorite. Daly says, wow, all these Scream facts never heard of. You should do a video on that, Aaron. I would watch that video
on my Patreon, and I put it up like live. I did a week called a viewer appreciation week where I took some of my videos that were on my Patreon and I've made them live for everybody for a week to watch. And one of them was like the secret killer behind Scream 3. So that was one of the ones I did.
Oh, there you go. He's already made it. Chris, the only A24 film I think I have is Ex Machina. Yeah, Ex Machina is a great film. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah.
I love that movie. So that's I don't know if that's my favorite. Yeah, that's probably my favorite A24 movie, to be honest. Let's see. The Devils need a Blu-ray or 4K.
And be uncut finally, hopefully.
Troy Anderson says Penitentiary isn't a bad boxing movie, but Pynn 2 is way better.
Hell, I agree. I would love to see Penitentiary 3 come out on Blu-ray, but unfortunately, there's been some rights issues.
There you go. Chris said, do you think The Truman Show will come to 4K?
Eventually, yeah.
I hope so. I need to get that on Blu-ray, to be honest. If they had to remake one movie, what would you want it to be? That's a tough question.
Something that was not super popular. Like, well, it could be popular, but wasn't perfect. Like, one of the mistakes I think people make, like, let's remake the classic. Let's remake Psycho. Let's remake Halloween, and those really don't need to be remade. They're kind of timeless. But I'd say remake something that was okay, but can be definitely can be fixed about. And I'm just trying to think. I'm looking at my collection and see something that could be remade. And there's so many of them. I mean, they already kind of did the sequel to The Craft already, so that was kind of cool. But I thought The Craft was perfect as it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would always lean towards horror for this because I think that in general, the horror genre does the best remakes, or at least all my favorite remakes are usually in that genre, like Evil Dead 2013, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. I think there's a lot of good horror remakes. So
speaking of, maybe the Funhouse. I think
they
could do a really good thing with the Funhouse. That was a really good film.
I don't know why, but the first one that popped in my head was I forget the damn title of it actually. Night of the Demons. Have they done a remake of that?
They have.
Have they?
Yeah, Shannon.
Well, never mind then. Never mind. Shannon Elizabeth was in a remake of Night of the Demons. I need to check that out. I need to check that out right away. Well, okay. I love Free Willy, says Adam Wilson with the Michael Myers 2 mask right there. So I'll say Free Willy. They can remake Free Willy. How about that?
Yeah.
Have True Lies. Let's see. This is more of a horror sci-fi, but The Faculty is a great one. Yep, it certainly is. Question: what do you guys do when you buy a Blu-ray blind buy and it end up being a bad movie? Do you sell it or usually keep it? I would keep it.
I usually keep it. Like Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie is still in my collection, so there you go.
Yeah, his first Halloween's still in mine. I didn't give it away, but I did get rid of the DVD version of it because I didn't want 2 copies in my collection anymore. Caldela said, love the second. I know what you did, but The Faculty is highly underrated, and I'm shocked they never sequel or reboot it. I think a TV series would be a good fit for it. I don't know if I'd want a reboot of that one or a sequel. I feel like that's good, standalone. I don't know.
And now, Disturbing Behavior is one they could actually reboot. I like that movie a lot, actually.
Which one? The second Disturbing Behavior?
Yeah,
yeah. I haven't seen that one. Isn't that one that's out of print or something, or the Blu-ray is really hard to find? Or I feel like it's one that a lot of people talk about. I had to pull my DVD for the next question. Ken, you need to watch my second favorite horror movie, Storm of the Century. I know you own it. I do. I got a DVD right here. I think I found it at a Goodwill or something. I need to watch it. I haven't seen it. Let's see. Where do you see 4K format in 5 years? Would it be more popular or less popular? I don't know.
Definitely more popular, because if it hadn't been like taken up by the labels, if we hadn't seen so much come out from like Vinegar Syndrome, especially with the VSU releases now, or stuff coming up from Severin, and now like rumored to be Criterion and Kuno Lorber and Arrow, with so many of them coming out, I think yes, we're going to get more as we go on. And right now, let's say the format, people wonder why the format didn't do so well initially. So Blu-ray was driven by the PlayStation 3. When the PlayStation 3 came out, everybody started buying the PlayStation 3. Everybody was getting like Spider-Man with the PlayStation 3, and they were buying Blu-rays. And now that the PS5 is out, now that the Xbox Series X is out, now you're going to see more people that are grabbing the ones that can actually play discs, grabbing more 4K.
Yeah, because the first iterations of the Xbox One and the PS4 didn't support 4K. But my Xbox One, like I got an updated one, that one supports 4K. But then the PS4 never supported it at all.
PS4 doesn't even support CDs, for crying out loud.
Oh, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. You remember back in the day with your PS2, it would play your CDs, it would play your DVDs, it would play your games, it would play PS1 games, for crying out loud. And they can't. What's the deal with that backwards compatibility? It's not even a thing anymore. It's ridiculous.
And that's the reason.
It's ridiculous. Let's see. Did you hear that Netflix dropped a bunch of viewers? I did. I mean, my take on that is,
why did
a bunch of people? It spiked last year during the quarantine because everybody was at home. So obviously, like, more people got Netflix because they were stuck at home, and now that they can go out and work and do stuff. Not everybody, watches streaming and stuff all the time. So they probably got it because they were stuck at home, and now they're back at work and out doing stuff. Then they probably canceled it. I don't know. And Netflix sucks anyway. So there you go.
They have something.
That they do. I'm a little hard on Netflix because a lot of their stuff is mediocre. I think that like Amazon Prime and HBO Max is doing some good work. Apple TV Plus actually has some really great shows right now. I think Netflix is kind of, I don't know. I like the Fear Street trilogy.
Those are really good. I was super surprised with that, actually.
Did you watch the A Classic Horror Story? I feel like that would be right up your alley. It's an Italian horror film. And it's got the girl that was in the movie Revenge from a few years ago, Matilda Lutz. And it's a really solid movie. The end, I wasn't completely sold on what happens near the end, but it's good. I think that you would dig it. 4K Media Guy says, are you guys picking up Underworld 4K collection?
Eventually. I was never a big Underworld fan. I like the girl, but I'll be honest with you. You know the reason? I used to watch Felicity back in the day, and it was one of those shows, and I hated that dude. That she ends up going with, Scott Speedman's character, and I'm like,
yeah.
So I was like, hated Scott Speedman. So he was in Underworld, and I'm like, oh man, no.
I've only seen the first one, so I'm interested in seeing. I feel like those would be really good transfers, but I don't know if I'm going to pick that up. It's $100. I'll wait for it to go down in price a little bit.
Black Friday. That'll be a Black Friday buy for me.
But the thing is like I said the same thing about the Resident Evil 4K box set. And now, like, you can't find it or buy it, and it's like super expensive.
Is it really?
So I wonder. Yeah, apparently, like, I feel like it might be the same thing because you can't find that one anywhere. So I don't know. I might have to jump on it. I really don't want to pay $100 for Underworld, though. Scream 2 all the way. I think Gremlins could be remade. You bite your tongue, movies and Trent Studios. I don't know. I could handle a reboot, but what's your take on Gremlins and Gremlins 2? Which one's better?
Gremlins.
Okay.
100%.
Some people are diehard Gremlins too, and they say it's better. There's some. When I was a kid, I was all about Gremlins too. That was the movie because it's basically like Looney Tunes. But yeah, I mean the first one's definitely better. Remake Space Invaders. Rob Savage says, I've never seen it, but I'm also hoping The Devils gets released on Blu-ray. Let's see. What's a movie that shouldn't be remade, but you're surprised they haven't remade?
God, well, that shouldn't be remade.
Back to the Future, probably the top one. Jaws.
Well, I know they won't get Jaws remade because there's like they're stopping that. Actually, Spielberg stopped that.
Well, great. I'm glad somebody's taking a stand against this bullshit. But yeah, that's I would say those two are probably the top two. But guys, we're approaching the 2 hour mark, and I don't want to keep Aaron here all night. So get your last minute questions in. We're going to be closing it out here in about I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Let's see. G-Man Review says, when do you think we're gonna get Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? I don't know.
I hope it's a teaser, not a trailer. We're getting too many trailers with just too much information.
Yeah, I feel like that would spoil the shit out of everything in that trailer. They were showing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and everybody. What are you guys' box office prediction for the Suicide Squad?
Hopefully, it looks good.
25 million opening weekend. I don't know, 30, something like that. It's hard to predict box office anymore after the pandemic and everything. Planet Mondo said Tommyknockers could use a remake.
100%, because that's a film that wasn't super great originally, and
that's a good one. I also have that on DVD. Found that at a Goodwill for only $2. Found that on DVD. It's still sealed. Let's see. Will we ever get I Know What You Did Last Summer box set here in the U.S.? I don't know, but you can get a region free player and order it from who put that one out?
80
was
films.
It 88 Films? Yeah. Yeah, I need to get that one actually myself. Thinking about the Suicide Squad, are you guys gonna see it in theaters or HBO Max? I'll be watching on HBO Max.
Since we don't have HBO Max here, probably Crave if it comes out there, or maybe Amazon Prime.
Yeah, there you go. That sucks. Y'all don't have HBO Max yet. Damn, you need it. HBO Max is awesome. They have great original content, and I mean, you have all of HBO's content or whatever. And they got like the Turner Classic Collection, all the classic movies too. So it's really good. Stranger Boy said thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series. I think it will be this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that it's going to go the mystery route, like as opposed to the supernatural route. Also, another series I'm looking forward to, which I don't see many people talking about, is the new season of Slasher, which is coming out, and it has David Cronenberg actually in it.
I never checked out that show. Is that you're saying it's pretty good?
It's cool. It's a pretty good anthology film. It's basically it's a different slasher movie every time, and I think it's got continuously better throughout.
Yeah. Let's see. Does Aaron like Asian, Korean, Japanese movies? I think we know Ken's thoughts on them.
I do. Not as good, not as much as my kids do. My kids can actually speak Korean and Japanese. Cool. I can't. But yeah, my kids they're pretty much experts in that genre, and I'm not. But I do love the horror films. I like things like the Ringu series and One Missed Call and all that type of stuff.
I need to check out the Wreck movies. That's in is that from Korea or Japan? Is that Korea?
I'm trying to remember. I'm going to say
that's one set that I want to own and check out because I hear great things, and I'm a huge sucker for found footage movies. I love found footage movies.
Oh, then you got to get Wreck, man. You'll love them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, I love Parasite. That's a Korean movie, right? And I watched JSA earlier this year. Ken, have you seen Hills Have Eyes remake 2006? Yes, I really.
Remake, actually.
Is it not a remake?
Yep, one like a good remake too.
Oh yeah, you said another good one. Yeah, I agree. It's a very disturbing film. It's hard to watch in certain parts, but it's a good one. What do you think will be the next Walking Dead, like the next big zombie show? I don't even know if I would say the next Walking Dead. I don't feel like that show's that popular anymore. Nobody really talks about that one. I would say like the next Game of Thrones. I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be hard. I mean, I don't think we'll really know because it's going to be one of those things like it's just going to come upon us, and I don't think it's anything that's been announced yet. But my next Walking Dead show is the Chucky series.
There you go. I'm excited too. But yeah, that's something that kind of has to happen organically. I don't think that a lot of people really predicted Breaking Bad was going to be the successful show that it was. It just kind of happened over the seasons. So reboot or remake are the same thing, right? Can you explain the distinction between the two, Aaron? I feel like you could do it better than me.
No, I mean, like a remake usually is when they're taking a film and they're remaking pretty much the source material. Like the last half of Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween is pretty much a remake of Halloween. Now, a reboot is usually when they're kind of doing their own thing. I'll give you a really bad example of a reboot. April Fool's Day, fantastic movie, 1986. It's got Amy Steele from Friday 13th Part 2. Great.
Found that at a Goodwill for $1 recently too on DVD.
fantastic. Now the remake sucks, but the reboot sucks. But it's a reboot, and like basically it's April Fool's Day in pretty much name alone, and
Okay.
just like basic, slightly spark concept. But reboots tend to kind of do their own thing. They're almost like reimaginings, really.
Yeah, and then you get into like requels, which they call like is basically like what The Force Awakens was. Like it's a sequel, but it also feels like a remake of the first one.
And
Actually,
the
all
thing,
three of the original trilogy put together. Thoughts on Blumhouse and David Gordon Green doing a new Exorcist trilogy? Thanks for asking this question because I kind of did want to get my thoughts out on this. What do you think about this?
I don't mind it. I'm like people like think that The Exorcist is one of those like that you can't touch. But I'm sorry. After The Exorcist 2 came out, after The Exorcist 2 came out,
I need to see The Exorcist 3. I hear so many great things about it. I need to see that jump scare that everybody talks about.
It's good. Like Exorcist 3 is fantastic. Exorcist 2 is utter crap. I'll be honest.
That's what I hear.
And once Exorcist 2 came out, then Exorcist was no longer untouchable anymore. I'm sorry. And there's been 2 TV seasons for an Exorcist TV show. I was actually first season especially was actually pretty good.
Gina Davis was in that.
Yep.
I never watched it.
He's good. Like especially the first season was really good. But
didn't
yeah,
she? I know this is a spoiler, so cover your ears. But didn't Gina Davis end up being Reagan, the character Reagan on the show?
My God, I think I gotta go back and watch it.
I feel like I heard that somewhere, like a spoiler.
Yeah, it was good. Like it was way better than I expected it to be.
My one thing about this trilogy that they're doing is why do you have to announce that it's a trilogy? Why can't you just say we're getting a new Exorcist film that's based off of it comes after the first one? Like, why do they have to go ahead and announce that it's going to be a trilogy? It just feels so, I don't know, uneventful. And then they said they paid like $400 million to get it. So it's like, how much are these movies going to cost? Like, and I don't want like high budget Exorcist movies. I don't think you need a budget like that to do an Exorcist movie.
Well, I don't think you're going to get an over high budget Exorcist film because like that's been not just like Blumhouse where that's going like I think they're going to Peacock actually. Peacock.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It might be on streaming, which makes me I don't know. It's just
so I mean it'll be different. It'll be fun. Ellen Bernstein's back. That's kind of
cool.
I
heard that. I was excited.
That's one of the reasons that's announced as a trilogy because we have one of the actors back from the original. And I think one of the mistakes that they made with the original Halloween, like 2018 remake, is they kind of knew they were going to do a trilogy with that one, but they didn't want to announce it until they were sure. I think now Blumhouse is sure, and it's a good sign if they say, okay, we're going to do a trilogy of this. They have faith in Dave Gordon Green, and I think he's been pretty good so far. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel better about it now that I know it's not like a remake. I just didn't want them to remake the first one. But now that I know it's like a sequel and they're going to do like the Halloween 2018, I feel better about it. I don't know. It's just.
What do you think about the Halloween news today, by the way? Halloween Kills and Halloween.
I didn't hear about it.
What's supposed to be set like one on basically on the same night. There was a cliffhanger.
Oh, no, I did hear about this.
But now it's going to be set like a couple years later. The last.
Yeah. I like the idea of them all three being in the same night, but at the same time, I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how long is this freaking night to support 3 movies? Because it already felt like they crept into like the next day in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
So like, how long is it going to take for them to like organize the town to go after Michael? And then it's like, what's Halloween 3 like? All on like, I guess like dusk or whatever, not dusk, but dawn, with like the sun coming up like halfway through the movie. I don't know. It feels like you would run out of night, so it makes sense that they would jump forward. Also, do you think Hollywood is entering a dark age?
No, I mean, like if anything, right now where it's more like people think like because there's like there's remakes and there's stuff that come out, but there's a lot more that comes out than that. Like as somebody that reviews like films, and not mostly the new ones, usually just like older stuff that came out, but
yeah,
there's so much like cool stuff that comes out there, and it's just that they may not get like the same publicity as like a Halloween or an Exorcist does, but there's still so many cool things being made that don't get talked about. So yeah. I think we're always into like, if anything, we're into kind of a renaissance, and it's just that right now a lot of the really creative stuff is going towards television. And the last really big show, somebody mentioned what's the next big show. Well, they did a show called 30 Kinds, and it was really, really good. So if you haven't checked that out, it was on HBO. HBO was on HBO. One of the HBOs. Anyway, came on HBO Max anyway, because we get Crave. And but 30 Kinds, check it out. one of the best shows that came on TV this year. The first season is already out, completed, and I don't know if they're doing a second season, but the first season can go on its own. But it's one of those shows that there's nothing like it out there, and it is just so good.
Awesome. I'll have to check that out. I'd never heard of that before until you said it. But 4KD Ray, the commissioner of the movie collection Battle League, says, is there a movie you think will fill the theaters again anytime soon? Halloween Kills.
Nothing's going to fill like at this point. Halloween Kills, maybe the next, whatever the next big Marvel film is once it comes out and things are back to normal. Which
Black Widow, did it fill the theaters? Would you say Black Widow filled? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't really pay attention to box office anymore.
We waited so long for Black Widow, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I thought Black Widow was definitely a decent little film.
Did you get it on Disney Plus? See, I haven't seen it yet. What is your most anticipated movie of 2022? Lots of great ones, I think, in the making. I don't know. Doctor Strange, is that coming out?
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, so I guess that one. Caladilla says, will ever make older TV series look better? Married with Children of the Jeffersons and shows like that? Because I asked because Charlie Angel's Upgrade was a nice improvement.
Eventually, I mean, like we already got like a DVD of Married Children, and I think we'll eventually get a Blu-ray of that one as well.
Awesome. It has been a great dream. Love Mid-Level for Weekly Media Report, and Aaron, love videos for guesses for reveals. San Severin. Well, awesome, man. Thank you for joining. Aaron's definitely been somebody I've been wanting to collab and do something with for a long time. Planet Mondo says Rec is from Spain.
Right,
there you go. We were way off on that one. George Much says, have a great evening. Take care. Bye for now. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping up real soon, guys. Watching the New York. Great stream. Love Mid-Level. I just read that. Hey, Mid-Level Media and Aaron, how are you guys doing tonight? Kubrick Lover is here. What's up, man? Appreciate you joining. Stranger Boy 101 says, what horror movie has the scariest concept? I think Final Destination.
Oh, I can tell you right now, what scares me the most. The Strangers. I am the home invasion thing terrifies me because
that trailer was scary.
Yeah, reality like is way scarier than any like supernatural thing that can come out there. And when I first moved to Nova Scotia, the first place that we had was this house right out in the middle of nowhere. We're literally on like the highway, which just down there, and it was. I wouldn't buy The Strangers when it came out at that time because we were living in an area where it was so much like that, and it was the middle of winter. My better half was gone on a work trip, and I went outside and to bring the garbage down because the garbage was coming out. It was and I didn't take a coat. Closed the door, went down the basement door. Brought the garbage out. Realized, I locked the basement door behind me. Didn't have my keys on me. It was freezing outside. There was like wolves in the area, and it had been like a big deal. It had been announced, so I had to kind of hike it to my nearest neighbor so that I could call my better half to get somebody to come and bring up an extra key. And if he wouldn't have been home, I would have been like miles by miles. I would have had to hike to get anywhere, and I could have like froze. So yeah, it was pretty scary. So yeah, The Strangers.
The Strangers. I don't know. For me, it's the supernatural stuff that really gets me, and the Paranormal Activity movies scare the shit out of me. And just the thought of like your significant other like being possessed by a demon, and there's nothing you can do about it. The same reason why The Exorcist scares me, like the thought of like one of my kids being possessed or something, and there's nothing I can do about it. It freaks me out. So I'll say that. And but also Final Destination, the third one. Nobody had ever really done like roller coasters, like flying off the rails before in a movie, and that always kind of I used to think about that when I would ride roller coasters. So I'm kind of with you on that. What are some good horror movies to start your kids out on age 9? I'm still trying to figure that out, man. Myself. So I mean, I started watching horror when I was like
I watched
9, Gremlins. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a decent like one like Monster Squad maybe. I'm not sure if it's more so completely correct now. Monster Squad was definitely decent back in the day.
Yeah, some gateway horror. Speaking of that, The Gate maybe.
The Gate, fantastic film. Now there's a movie that will get you as a kid more so than as an adult because
it got me when he went in that hole and those little demon things come running at him. I was like, holy shit! Like I was like 8 or 9 when I saw that. Freaked me the hell out. Let's see. What's the first horror movie you saw that got you guys into the horror genre? I don't know. It's been a while. I guess 1990. That's the first horror movie I remember seeing. That and Psycho around the same time. I was probably like 7 or 8 when I watched
Somebody when I
those.
was very young took me to a drive-in because they wanted to see it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was playing. I'm not sure if it was retro playing or not, but still, I was very young, maybe like 4 or so. But that was the first one that really stood out for me. And then like a lot of the TV stuff, like are you alone? Like are you basically alone in the dark? Like the type, the one from Dark
Goosebumps. Yeah, those books definitely for me.
that, like freaked me out. But a lot of TV horror, like really, because it was like a big thing back in the day. There was a lot of like TV movies that would be really kind of horrific. So that's what kind of got me into it.
I guess if you want to talk about like movies that aren't like really straight up horror movies, I guess like Beetlejuice. I mean, I used to love watching that movie when I was really young too. That's kind of horror, I would say. But Aaron, Mr. Cult of Cinema, we're done. We're done for the night. I thank you so much for joining me, for spending 2+ hours with me tonight chatting physical media movies. It was super awesome. Like I said, been a huge fan of yours for a long time. And yeah, it was a great time. Great stream. I
Anytime,
appreciate you being here.
like I 100% like this was fantastic. Anytime, you're welcome on my channel as well. By the way,
Awesome,
which we
man.
got to do sometime, though.
Yeah, man. Anytime you need me, I mean, of course, I got to make sure I can be there and line it up with my schedule. But yeah, anytime you want to invite me over, I'm more than happy to come on your channel and talk some physical media movies. But I'm going to give you the opportunity one more time, Aaron, to tell everybody what you do on your channel and why they should subscribe to you. So the floor is yours, sir. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's just it's called a cinema. Just look for my name, Aaron Pynn, online, and we do a lot of live streams. We do like a lot of live stuff. I actually do talk other things too. I've started to do like kind of comic collecting stuff, which I'm actually really having fun with. We do stuff not just on films all the time. We do like soundtracks too. So I talk like the kind of like the music, the call to music cinema, and I have a Patreon. And if you like Giallo films and you like what I talked about Giallo there, we do a lot of Giallo stuff on the Patreon one. And I am doing actually a Giallo special shopping list, which you can take on your phone with you because it's going to be on a Google Sheet. So there you go. That's all the jazzy stuff. I have merch and all the fun stuff. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Make sure to check this guy out. He's amazing.
Awesome, man. Yeah, guys, you have to subscribe to Aaron Pym. You have to hit that link in the description below. If you love boutique Blu-rays, Scream Factory, Severin, Arrow, Criterion, you cover Criterion on your channel a little bit as well,
Oh
right?
my God, yeah, like I do. I used to cover Criterion a lot more. It's just recently, like this sale here, for instance, we couldn't get it in Canada.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but it's the first
Well, I
time.
heard there was something up there with like a 40% off sale or something that I forget the name of the company that was doing it.
Unobstructed view.
Unobstructed view. You not a fan?
Not really.
Okay, I can tell. But yeah, you cover so many boutique labels. Every single time that I join one of your streams, I feel like I learn something new just about film and about physical media. So just your knowledge of movies and physical media is just like off the charts. And so like head and shoulders above just a lot of people on the internet that talk about this stuff. Myself included in that, obviously. I definitely have a lot to learn. And I learn it from you every single time I join your chat. So yeah, definitely subscribe to Aaron. Follow him on all of his social media links below, guys. Please like this video if you haven't liked this video. Still 51 people in here. Hit that like button. Also comment down below your thoughts on anything that we talked about here today. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys later.